Ninja Brian. You see that high schooler over there getting pushed around? This looks like a job for Cool Patrol. Hey kid, you're getting picked on in school. The other boys, they say you just ain't cool. Well, that's bullshit. We're gonna teach you the rules. Those motherfuckers ain't gonna bother you no more. We are the bad boys from the tough side of town. We are the Cool Patrol. We'll turn your life around. Those bullies, their ass is done for now. We're gonna show you how. So fucking listen, yo. You put your hands in the air and you jump off the ground, and then you take that funky butt and you shake it all around, and lightly jog in place and then crank it up to a prance. This is the Cool Patrol dance. Now put your hands in your pockets and take them right back out. Then spin around in a circle and make an animal sound. Then glide into the sprinkler like you're gonna water the plants. This is the Cool Patrol dance. You get all that, kid?
That wasn't actually very helpful. That was just like an instructional dance.
Hell yeah! Motherfucking bullies better watch their ass. You're sending all them shits a message. There's a new king in class. When they see you, they're gonna freak out and piss their pants. They are your bitches. They are your bitches because you put your hands in the air and then stick out your rear end, and then you wiggle it real hard and you hug your closest friend, and then you wildly remove your clothes and tear away pants. This is the Cool Patrol dance. Now rub the peanut butter on you from your head to your feet, and cover up your nudity with different cheeses and meats, and slap a camel because this could be your only chance. This is the Cool Patrol dance. Cool break. All right. This is cool. Excuse me. Hey, I have an idea. Let's kick it. You put your hands in the air and grab a bird from the sky and eat it whole so that you may absorb its power of flight. Now you can also dive on fish because your vision's enhanced. This is the Cool Patrol dance. You're basically a superhero now, so throw some cars and rub your magnum thighs together and set fire to Mars. Now harness all your sexy fury in a victory stance. This is the Cool Patrol dance. Your training is complete. Now go show those fuckers who's boss.
Okay. Hey guys, listen up. You put your hands in.
Oh God! Oh, he might actually be dead.
I picked you up at 8. My heart was racing and now we're on our first date. You look so radiant as we walk into the restaurant. You started talking and I smile and nod. You told me about your life, but I was lost inside your oceanic eyes. Our hands touched briefly as the light reflected off your golden hair. A strong electric charge was in the air. Now it's 10 o'clock and the meal is done, but the conversation's just begun. You're fascinating, I feel blessed, but I have to be honest, I don't know what we're talking about, and I haven't for a while. And I don't know what we're talking about, and I haven't for a while. My eyes are open wide. to work on time. His nursing job is on the line. His wife is always on his case. Why can't she give the boss some space? I don't know what we're talking about, and I haven't for a while. And I don't know what we're talking about, and I haven't for a while. I'm pretty sure you're telling me about your new job. I'm not absorbing anything. Smile and nod. I'm thinking about ladders. If I tell you, is that hard? Is it my turn to talk? You're looking at me. Oh God.
Focus, focus, penguin in a costume.
How many Draculas are hiding in this room? Marlon Brando was so very handsome in his prime. I'd make an awesome cop if I could stop committing crime. I don't know what we're talking about.
I am totally lost.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Where am I?
I don't know what we're talking about, and I haven't for a while.
Laura's gonna have to go back to night school. Am I the only one who cares about this?
And I don't know what we're talking about, and I haven't for a while.
Anyway, why don't you and I go back to my place and, oh, I see you left at some point.
Hey everybody, how are you? Kayla had to step away for a minute. Kayla had to step away for just a minute to answer
Hello,
a phone
hello, hi.
call.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hi.
I have to, once again, we are back with another episode of DisasterCast / What the Fuck Sunday. Which is, essentially, it's kind of, I have to say, I've noted that what originally started as David Cage Sunday, which was us just me yelling at the stupidity that is David Cage, and you fervently sucking him off. What has started off as that, it developed into, once we finished the David Cage games, we were like, well, what do we do now? Let's play other weird shit. So, like, What the Fuck Sunday then developed as just us playing weird games and being like, what the fuck? But now it's evolved even further into the DisasterCast, which is just, you tell me about these horrific engineering disasters, and I go, what the fuck? So now I'm just sitting here like, should we keep What the Fuck Sunday? Because I'm also really loving DisasterCast, but at the same time, that sort of implies that the games that we're playing are disasters, which a lot of them are, I actually really liked No More Heroes, so I guess I think I just worked through that in my own head, and I think I'm going to stick with What the Fuck Sunday / disaster, but I'm still going to say DisasterCast.
It's like a Pokemon going through evolution.
Kinda, yeah, but then, like, ends up right back where it was.
Exactly. Just a bigger version.
Yeah. But as my, I would like to make a contribution on this day to What the Fuck Sunday in regards to the DisasterCast portion. I do need to, because I want to share with you all some news that I guess is good news, but it's good news in the sense of it makes you kind of want to, no, more like, okay, this is good, but also this is shit that should not have been, like, the battle that it ended up being. Because I want to share this with all of y'all, because I happened to see it, and it caught my interest with everything that's currently going on. I thought it'd be good for everybody else to know. I want y'all to know that, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but back in 2006, there was a Buffalo police officer, and her name was, let me just I had the name right here in front of me. It was right in front of me.
Vamping for time.
No, it was Officer Carol Horn. Carol Horn was her name. She was a black Buffalo police officer who stopped a white officer who was choking a black suspect who was in handcuffs. She stopped him because, according to her, it looked like he was going to kill him, which he absolutely was going to if she'd have let it continue. So, you know, one of those good cops that you hear about, right? That people are always, oh,
no, I don't hear about those.
Yeah, well, people were like, oh, there's good cops, there's good cops. Okay, well, here was one of the good cops, right?
Uh-huh.
So guess what happened to her as a result when she stopped the chokehold in 2006?
She got fired.
She got fired in 2008, just a couple months before she was eligible to receive her full pension. They pushed her out of her job as a result of it.
Of course they fucking did.
Yeah, absolutely. They 100% did. And then the officer, because she said what had, she reported what had happened naturally, because again, she was one of those good cops. The officer, Kwiatkowski, it was his name, he sued her and her lawyer for defamation. And in 2011, a judge found that Horn's lawyer had made 8 statements that were considered defamatory and false, including the claim that Horn, quote, saved the life of a suspect who was already in handcuffs and was being choked out by Officer Greg Kwiatkowski. Greg Kwiatkowski. Kwiatkowski. Because whenever these fucking cops do shit like this, we need to name and shame them. Everyone needs to know what their names are. But the suspect, Neil Mack, maintained the whole time that Horn did save his life, right? And then Mack sued 5 officers involved in his arrest in 2012. And a jury found no wrongdoing in a ruling of 5-1. And guess the demographic of the one person who sided with Mack.
Not white?
Black. The only black person on the jury is the only one who sided with Mack. So then, this is a developing story, okay? It does start to turn around, though. This is whenever things do start to perk up a bit.
Uh-huh.
So in 2018, Kwiatkowski was sentenced to 4 months in federal prison. Oh no, you poor baby. For a 2009 incident in which he used, quote, unlawful and unreasonable force against 4 black teenagers, including slamming their heads into a car. So...
You remember how in this society people get more time just for having, like, a dime bag of weed in their car?
Yep. So, the judge, who had ruled that Horn had made false defamatory statements, said knowledge was not made available during the original determinations in this case by both the hearing officer and this court. Likewise, the current societal view towards the use of chokeholds and physical force in effecting arrests, along with the City of Buffalo's expression of specific disapproval of such force by legislative enactment, has altered the landscape. Basically, he said, I changed my mind because there was public pressure. She has now been awarded her full pension that she was owed, and she has also been considered eligible for back pay and benefits through August 4th, 2010, which would have been 2 more years of her time on the force. So she is getting, it's like a bittersweet situation because the suspect is still, suspect? Why did I say that?
The jackass.
Well, not the jackass. Mac, the innocent man who was being choked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
sorry. Yeah, that's why I shouldn't
I thought
have
we were
used
talking
suspect.
about the cop.
No, that was on me. That was on me. That's why I shouldn't have used suspect. But Mac, he's still not going to get anything out of this, even though he was wrongfully mistreated by the police. But granted, at least the one good cop in the situation, the one that I keep on hearing about, everyone's like, oh, there's a good cop, except the good cop always gets fired or killed, or this woman was harassed for years, by the way.
Oh, of course she was.
Like, she was basically never given a moment's peace from this police department. At least she is gonna get her benefits, and she basically did receive the vindication of the judge saying, oh, okay, you did do the right thing. Kind of sucks that that's not gonna transfer over to Mac, who was the one who was roughed up, but at least there is some judicial acknowledgement that the officer did the wrong thing. Then, Kwiatkowski, that fuckhead, I mean, Jesus Christ, oh no, 4 months in federal prison, which he'll probably be in, like, secure holding because he's a cop, so, that's probably how that's gonna go. But I thought that was something very relevant to talk about, and the reason why I think it's relevant to talk about is, even though we do talk mostly about past events whenever it comes to our engineering disasters and things like that, I like to think that to a certain extent we are still a podcast / channel that does try to stay focused on current events, essentially, and advocation has more and more become, I think, a part of my identity on Twitch and also just IRL. And the reason why I bring this up is to say that the reason why the judge changed his opinion was because of public pressure that came about as the result of how much people have been fighting to make visible the abuses that people of color are facing at the hands of police. And because, like, you know, whenever they say, oh, the Black Lives Matter, they're just, like, making a bunch of racket and all stuff. Yes, but that's the thing. You have to make racket and you have to be visible. And because of that visibility, this woman was able to receive vindication that she did do the right thing by saving a person's life. That she did the right thing. Like, that was... it's kind of fucked up that we had to go through all this for her to receive that vindication, but I feel it is important to say that because I feel it's important for people to know that whenever people say, oh, well, why are they doing all these protests and shit, it's for shit like this. Whenever we make people more aware of things, they can no longer ignore it, and then basically human nature, when a human can no longer ignore something, then they have to give a shit at that point. So basically what I'm saying is, for those of you who are fighting the fight for, not just for BLM, but also for trans rights and for marginalized groups, whatever marginalized group you are fighting for, this is me telling you, keep fighting. Change does come about. It is slow, but like I said, and as pissed as I am that that Mac is not going to get the vindication that he really deserves, at least, like I said, at least there is judicial recognition that cop was 100% in the wrong. Yeah, people in power only change their stance when they are under pressure. So this is me just kind of I feel like everyone deserves a little bit of a kernel of hope every now and again. Whenever something changes, I like to make people aware of that because it's good to see the fruits of your labor. So anyway, DisasterCast says BLM and trans rights. Yeah. DisasterCast says Black Lives Matter. And
Stop Asian hate.
And stop Asian hate, yes. These are all things that DisasterCast
Don't be
says.
a dick! Don't be a dick! Why is that so difficult?
Well, because that's just... It's very easy to justify it whenever you don't feel like you're being a dick, basically.
I hate that you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, now that I have taken up time talking about that, thank you all for indulging me that little bit of news information. We are going to move into No More Heroes, and No More Heroes 2. And once we kind of get a little ways into the story to where I'm kind of doing the side stuff, Kayla will share some stories with us.
Yeah.
Would you like to let everyone know what all you're wanting to talk about today? And then you guys can decide what we're going to start with today.
Yeah, everybody, so I got my usual 3 stories today. Today I did research on the Suez ship canal blockage that happened about a month ago. A little less than a month ago that shit happened. We reached the Subnautica Facebook.
Oh yeah, we did. Hang on, I'll just turn that off.
Get rid of that!
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that
Get
off.
rid of it!
Okay, I turned it off.
So we have the canal...
This is gonna be the most the most current event thing that we have talked about on DisasterCast.
Yeah. The canal blockage. I have the MS Estonia, which was requested whenever Bird did her stream with Minx last week. And I also have of course, the long requested Hyatt Regency Walkway disaster. So while we go through the beginning and get some semblance of a plot, you guys in the chat can basically vote on which one you want to hear first. Again, we have either the canal blockage, the MS Estonia, which is a ship sinking, or the Hyatt Regency Walkway, which is two things fall down and crush people.
Littered the streets. Much has changed in Santa Destroy.
Has it been destroyed?
Giant corporations, rampant city development. The
Speaking of current events,
the world has become a commodity, a chance for profit and entertainment for the masses. But shadows from the wilder days still linger. Travis, a man who slashed his way to the top, then walked away, has become an urban legend many even doubt was real. Here, the strong devour the weak kneel before the strong, and those who wield true power watch and count their gold.
What we're saying is eat the rich.
And in this mass-produced
Agreed.
savagery, one truth is constant.
Eat
With
the rich.
each shattered life, the same vow is uttered. I will have revenge. And no assassin can ever walk away from that. He must draw his beam and stand against the madness. This is Travis Touchdown's desperate struggle.
Hold it, you violence-loving bastards. Before you start your desperate struggling, you should drop a nice save.
Oh, they changed a little bit on the design, I see.
Hey. Also, I will warn you now, I think the Suez Canal thing is the most boring story, mainly just because it's still a little bit in development. Because they haven't, like, named names on to who's to fucking blame for that.
They tried to.
They tried to.
And then the lady that they pointed to and said, oh yeah, it was her fault. She was like, motherfuckers, I was on a ship literally 500 miles away. Here's my evidence. Fuck off.
Yeah. I left that part out because, like, I was just like, you know what? It didn't happen. There's evidence that it didn't happen. I'm not gonna include that.
Yeah. But just give that like sort of a, oh, what's it called?
Cursory glance?
Honorary mention.
Okay.
Definitely cranked up the contrast on the shading and stuff. Feels like a Telltale game. We are going to stick with the basic difficulty on this, everyone. Let me just get that out of the way now, because I know that you're partially here. Like, I'm going to be listening to Kayla's stories at the same time, so I need to be able to divide my focus accordingly.
I'll never forget. That night, for the first time in 120 years,
Bitch, you old.
snow fell on Center Destroy. It was a sign.
Of global warming?
Another change. Both
Hey,
Yes,
remember
global
when the
climate
snow
and
fell in
deadly
Texas?
Was
Yeah.
coming.
We're going to have to do an episode talking about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to.
I can give some of my insights on to working at Lowe's whenever people are calling about generators that are not
yeah, we
coming
can
for
both give
months.
experience on that. Because you did it during a snowstorm. I did it whenever there was, like, hurricanes and shit coming.
Mhm.
And yes, it's not a stream without me burping.
Fuckface.
Got a,
Travis,
I like that
touchdown.
gun design, not
This
gonna lie.
place bring back any memories? It's only where my last killing spree started. All those screwed up ranking fights. Now why would I remember that?
It'll be your blood this time, when I avenge my brother! Draw!
Brother? Who?
Wait,
Don't
which
you
one are
remember
you?
the man who fought here?
I fought a lot of guys, dude.
No. Can't say I do. Guess he didn't make an impression. Must have been crazy weak.
You
Oof.
insensitive prick! You killed him and you don't even remember! You know how humiliating that is?
Alright, calm down, Cloud Strife.
Sorry.
Let's just
I
go
don't
ahead and
have
get
a
that
death
joke out of the way.
And in case you're wondering,
Oh,
I'm
Panda
even
Brady beat me to
stronger
it.
now. You will
I wasn't gonna
lose.
say it.
You've got no chance of winning this.
You're something else. I haven't been so worked up in ages. When you see your bro in hell, tell him he's still a douche.
Okay.
Brace
Okay.
yourself!
Alright. Alright, that's the same as normal. That's the same as it was.
Okay.
Yeah, basically about how I remember.
Okay, but I'm still gonna, like,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna lean over slightly for whenever your hands start flailing about.
Yeah, that's fine. I
Alright.
totally missed that, that bit. Button mashing is recover from knockdown. Got it.
I'd be good at that. is that thing wiggling in the upper right?
I think that's the battery power.
Bring it on!
Ah.
Piece of cake!
You won't get away with this.
Pretty sure that's exactly what I'm about to do. Challenge mode, bird has one control, kill the other. Oh, fuck.
No.
I want to see the boobies.
Oh, you even get your change back.
I don't know if I take it in COVID land, I'd be like, did you sanitize? This is pretty, Alright.
I think I saw this in Wolf Among Us.
Yeah. Although I get the feeling that at least in this game, they won't even try to pretend that there's some deep choice I've got to make that's totally going to have consequences, even though it very much will not.
Yeah. I still love Wolf Among Us, though.
Wolf Among Us was genuinely really good. It was a good story. I still liked Walking Dead Season 1. That was an incredibly good story.
What would you like me to do?
Hey, I saw the boobies!
So, it's you again. I know, because you never say a word. It reminds me
You just pull out your dick.
your calm breaths.
Gotta squat a little bit, pull out your dick, and get to work.
You know, I used to love the beach. So what should I tell you this time? Oh, it was snowing today. It's strange what triggers our memories. I'll never forget. That night, for the first time in 120 years, snow fell on Center Destroy. It was
Wait, are we
a
just...
sign.
Are we getting the same thing that we were just told?
I don't fucking know.
Deadly was coming.
There is a certain level of pretentiousness to Suda 5-1, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not saying that I hate it, I'm just pointing it out.
Blanketed in
I'll be completely honest with you. I was genuinely just lost in my own thoughts about how we almost got Season 2 of Wolf Among Us, and then Telltale died.
Are you controlling camera? Nope.
cursed. White turned to red, and he lost his mind.
You won't get away with this.
Oh, okay. I guess we're back here.
It's a...
Asshole!
I don't remember this scene in Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's because Sora would never be this badass.
That's very true.
Fuck you!
Where's your chest?
I see it.
Piece of cake!
Keep whacking it until the problem goes away.
That's usually how I solve problems.
Oh, that's how people masturbate, so I mean, I get it. Yeah, I just keep whacking until it goes away.
I have a little bit of finesse when I masturbate.
I don't.
Fair enough. Later, bitch! Oh, okay, that was kind of bad. Okay, look, that was kind of badass, I'm not gonna lie. That was actually kind of badass.
Okay, magnifique.
You shut up. Wait, is this still a scam or what?
I don't know.
I don't know anything anymore.
So, you finally resumed work as an assassin.
Did we finally get to see her face?
It's the chick from
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah, I know, but I'm still like, it
Is that it?
we never got to see her face
You gotta be
because
kidding.
we were focused on her
I
boobies.
haven't seen you in 3 years, and that's the welcome I get? How about you fill us in on everything that's happened since the last game?
Thank you,
We're not gonna be
Travis.
satisfied until you do, right?
Exactly.
Oh, give me a break. There are people starting from the sequel who don't care about continuity, you know.
I am not one of them, bitch.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
Besides, it would take forever if I recapped every detail of your fall from greatness.
players would skip it. It's so boring.
Give me the goddamn cliff notes.
I guess you got a point there.
Sometimes you have to
Eat your
look at
heart out,
things from
Deadpool.
different angles. Now, may I? This man was the 51st ranked assassin. Since you've killed him, that officially makes you 51st.
I beg your
That
fucking pardon.
means you are qualified to fight in the ranking battles again.
What?
So, how about it?
Fuck off.
If you're a real man, you'll do anything to climb back on top. Because trust me, the view is still very satisfying.
Hold on. Why would I have to start from rank 51 this time?
Because
More
Suda 5 won.
competition. The last game's success made assassination trendy.
Yeah. but I already
Kayla's
fought
having
my way to
a like
number
Kayla's
one.
having a slow moment of
Shouldn't I
realization,
get a
like,
special fast track to the title fight?
Hate it.
No, but you will get a special prize.
Shut up.
Do we get the mod that makes you naked?
You can't bribe
yeah,
me
not on
time.
this stream, we don't.
I've already tasted those goods.
But just a taste. This time, you'll get the 5-course meal.
I love how his whole plot
Wait,
and his whole
I don't get
motivation
what
is
that
just to
means.
get laid.
Did you know I am a yoga master?
Isn't that how men work?
Yeah, it's like, geez, Suda 5-1, your misandry is showing.
Any yoga positions?
Like, downward dog?
The dog can do all sorts of things. So can the cobra, the rabbit.
Cobra? Rabbit? Like, together? Oh,
The funny
hold on.
thing is, I actually do know all of
Oh,
those
yeah.
positions.
I'm in it to win, baby. Number one, here I come.
Well, alright then.
Hey! We're not
I
gonna
beg your
fight.
fucking pardon.
Got a message for you.
Excuse you?
How are you making certain
This
sounds if
some
you can't close
this
your
some
lips?
this some Junji Ito
Yes.
shit.
Why aren't you dead yet?
Such blind arrogance. Like the naked emperor.
Seriously, I cut off your head?
Travis! You are the loser.
I took off your head and I'm
Be
the
part
loser.
of our plan.
Our plan?
I said I'd avenge you killing my brother, didn't I? Well, who's been a brother to you?
My cat?
Travis.
Oh my god, if you put a hand on my fucking cat.
Suffering consequences. To kill someone is not simply to end their life. One must
This
risk
really
their
does remind me
life
of that Junji
or
Ito
destroy another.
story about the red turtleneck, which if you
Yeah.
haven't read the red turtleneck, everybody, please read it. It's a genuinely
Taken the
really good
curse
story.
you gave me, the shackles of revenge, and I'm throwing them back on you.
Yeah, don't you dare
Now
fucking
it's
touch
your
my cat.
turn to be burdened with another's death.
I swear to God, if they touch my cat.
Oh, that pussy. Oh, that pussy.
For you too.
You gonna...
This is the ultimate vengeance.
Alright. That's hardcore, not gonna lie. You gonna kill? They gonna kill our cat, and we gonna go John Wick. I was about to say John Wilkes. We're gonna go John Wilkes Booth. We're gonna,
Oh, Jesus!
We're gonna shoot an old man in the head because we're a racist loser. I'm actually gonna kill my cat. Oh no, they're killing the guy.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I forgot about this dude.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't really give a fuck about him. Well, they're about to kill the shit out of him. I love how he's like, hold on, let me just turn off my computer and clear the browser history.
Travis.
I'm surprised he wasn't like, can I just clear my browser history real quick first?
My mother is still alive, and she has to bury me. I'll say you didn't change the Moobot.
Oh, fucking hell. Desperate trigger? Desperate struggle.
struggle.
Okay. LOL, you triggered?
We just killed Skelter Helter.
We gotta get, like, the story part out of the way first, and then we can get to the shit that everyone's actually here for, which is to hear, me talk, to hear you talk about, disasters. Okay. Fix all that shit. Oh, he's the one who kept bringing you your motorcycle. Oh. Alright, so, Suez Canal. Shall we get started?
Suez Canal!
Just FYI, by the way, we do intend to, as more information comes to light on this, we will update. So this is, just keep in mind, we may not have everything, but that's because this is a developing story.
Yeah. Does it say dead dove?
It says dead dick. Dead dick do not suck.
Don't tell me what to do.
Caleb, please don't suck a dead dick. You want parvo? That's not even parvo. That's how you get some shit that, like, ain't been seen for hundreds of years. That's how you get the plague. And I'm not talking bubonic plague, I mean, like, an even worse plague.
The dancing plague?
Yeah, that's how you get the dancing plague. Oh, he had a name?
Oh. It shows how much we care.
Speaking of sucking on dead dicks.
The heavenly dust returned to its maker, leaving in its place a blanket of sadness that covered Santa.
Are we a reporter or some shit?
I don't know.
The sun returned, and with it, deafening gunfire and clanking swords. The battles had resumed.
Yeah, we'd like to get to those battles so that Kayla can start talking about,
Disguised as men running wild.
Start talking about the shit.
Orgy of ultra-violence, as if to
An
purge
ultra
their
orgy,
souls of the
you could say.
hatred that blighted them.
an ultra-vi orgy.
I have set up the next ranking fight.
Where are you? I don't care who the fuck it is. Just give me someone to fight.
You sound passionate. What's gotten into you?
My porn guy died.
Someone killed Bishop.
I understand. Wait for me at Burger Suplex.
Alright, Suez Canal.
Okay, so the Suez Canal, starting with the background. The Suez Canal opened in Suez, Egypt in 1896. And it serves to this day as one of the most important trading routes in the entire world.
Yeah.
So you can understand why people got a little bit pissed whenever this thing got blocked.
Mm-hmm.
In current day, about 50 ships tend to travel through the canal a day, which is about 12% of the total global trade.
Okay.
Again, very understandable. People got pissed when this shit got blocked.
But we do kind of need this, like... It's almost like maybe it's not the best idea in the world to have all your trade concentrated in one route.
Oh, but wait.
There's more.
So, the canal is not wide enough in some spots to allow for two ships to travel through at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, occasionally, the boats just gotta play nice and take turns going through these narrow passages.
They gotta, so are the boat, you gotta hope if two of the boats are driven by Canadians, that's gonna cause a blockage in and of itself, because they'll constantly be like, no, you first. No, you. No, I insist, you first. No, you first.
I guess so.
I make this joke to my Canadian friends all the time. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Where's the cat? Where's my fucking cat?
I don't know. They're in that room? Oh, that's... Hold on, was that the cat that just... Oh, nope.
Got the thing... No, okay.
Okay!
Alright, everyone. The cat is safe. The cat is safe.
The boat with the boat and the boat with the boat.
Or snack from time to time. Jean doesn't like doing the same things over and over again. Once a menu has been selected, it won't be available for... Alright, we gotta try to help her lose... Oh. We're gonna try to help you lose weight, little Jean, okay? We'll play a little bit
It's
first.
close.
Exactly, Izzy. Men having to steer giant penis-shaped vehicles are not going to be courteous.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so tiny little canal, and that's the source of about 50% of our trade.
12% of the total global trade, thank you very much. If you're going to be condescending, be accurate.
Okay, fair enough.
So, there actually is a project underway to expand parts of the canal.
Mm-hmm.
But other parts of the canal are still only just single lane.
Okay.
Oh, kitty.
This is weird. This is like more intense than the sex mini games that I played in God of War.
You know what? Shut up! Oh. Rub their belly.
Oh, she's a sleepy girl.
Oh, let her sleep.
I'm just gonna feed her a little something. I don't have any food.
Yeah, you don't have any money.
Okay, I'll come back with some money,
That
Jean.
was close.
Alright.
Okay, so the ship that caused the blockage. Active are the pets that the cat loses weight.
Look. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, side jobs. I know. I'm planning on heading that way, like, right now, to be honest with you.
Alright, so the ship that caused the blockage was called the It is called the Ever Given. And it began hauling cargo September 25th, 2018. And it actually replaced an earlier ship of the same name. So the one that caused the block was the updated version.
Okay.
So the ship is owned by, oh god, I'm gonna butcher this. Joei Kessen Haisha.
Okay.
That's the best I'm gonna do.
Okay.
A subsidiary.
You tried. I'm proud of you.
A subsidiary of Japan's Imabari shipbuilding. And it's actually used by a Taiwan-based company, Evergreen Marine, and it's managed by Bernard Schultz Ship Management, and the ship is registered in Panama.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a great
gonna
deal.
butcher this. Yeah. So the owners, Shoei Kisen Kaisha, had liability coverage on the ship worth $3.1 billion, which they may need because they could face claims from the Suez Canal Authority, SCA from now on, for loss of revenue due to a future fuck-up that I will get to in a minute.
Let's just go ahead and lay that foreshadowing, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. So, one more note.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Kavanagh, a National Maritime College of Ireland lecturer, he's a former captain that has sailed through the Suez Canal before.
Okay.
He describes it as being complex and honestly very high risk. And he says this is because of the wind gusts in the area make the containers on the ships basically act like sails. So they catch the wind, they make the ship move, and it fucks up the course.
Mm-hmm.
So a big ship like the Ever Given will have a hell of a time counteracting any winds that can blow it off course because of how big it is and
Right.
how much cargo it does carry. One more fun fact. The government of Egypt requires ships going through the canal to be boarded by an Egyptian Suez crew to take command of the ship and take over for the regular crew and captain, and 2 of them were on board at the time of the accident. So they have special people who try to go on board the ships to steer them themselves because they have more experience getting ships through the canal.
That makes sense.
Very much finesse is needed for
Right.
this.
You gotta really kind of know this canal. What you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is why we definitely want 12% of our global trade going through this canal. That you have to be very specifically trained and like that has a lot of, you know, like you said, skill involved.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That was the biggest fuck up ever given. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. So, the fuck up. On March 23rd, 2021, the Ever Given was traveling through the canal through a sandstorm from its start in Tanjung Pelepas, Malaysia, and on its way to the port of Rotterdam in the Netherlands.
Okay.
The subsequent strong winds from this fucking sandstorm got up to about 40 knots, i.e. 74 kilometers an hour, i.e. 46 miles an hour.
Oh, fun!
They're not fucking playing around, and it made it almost impossible to steer this ship. But you know, you got a deadline.
Capitalism, everybody. Two things always ruin everything whenever it comes to these disaster casts, and it's either capitalism or just somebody being lazy. And a lot of times the reason why they're lazy is because of capitalism. Basically what we're saying is eat the rich.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. But not to get political or anything.
The ship was blown so hard that it ran aground at the 151 kilometer mark. It turned sideways and got itself aground on the other side to block the canal on both sides. So, wind blows ship so hard, front part hit land, wind still blow, back part hit land, it stuck.
Oh, goody. So literally the wind did it.
The wind did it. The wind did it because they were going through in a sandstorm and was just like, this is fine. So, good news, no members of the crew were hurt.
That's good at least. I am glad that nobody got hurt.
Yeah. Bad news, 15 ships were behind them when it made the worst kind of traffic block.
Yay.
Over 300 vessels were at both ends of the canal, and they were obstructed because of this. Some of them ended up docking at nearby ports, and others literally just made circles for the next 6 days waiting for the blockage to clear.
They literally just went in circles.
Do you remember that? I remember.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's just like...
I remember the Twitter moment of people just, like, looking at all of these ships that were circling around and looking at who had the best name for their ship.
It's like, they're just like going in circles like, hey, y'all, it's kind of like a metaphor for how 2021 is already circling the drain.
Okay. So, the salvage and refloating efforts. Obviously, a team of experts were immediately called to try and fix this issue, because again, 12% of the world trade, we kind of need this fixed immediately.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea to go ahead and fix that.
Tugboats were brought in to either tow or push the boat in any direction to get it unstuck.
Mm-hmm.
And these little tugboats, they were just trying their hardest.
You're trying really hard, and we appreciate that, sweetheart.
Pretty much. Suction dredgers were also brought in. Basically, they're underwater cranes, and they were used to move sand and silt to...
Sand and slits.
Sand and slits!
That is the name of the whorehouse I will be opening on the beach. Sand and slits.
Sand and silt to try and give the ship room to move.
Right.
So they were like trying to dig it out, they were just trying to push it out, they were doing everything they possibly could.
That's where we ended up, by the way, of all those memes of like huge bit of the ship being dug out by the tiny little crane, and it's saying, "Oh, big horrible problem, but tiny little thing that I'm kind of doing to fix it."
That literally was one of their best efforts that they could have done to try and fix this.
Yeah.
All right. I got some pictures in here that I'm going to be putting in the tragedy.
Please join our Discord. Type !Discord to get the Discord link. Everyone is invited.
Discord.
Everyone is invited. Please do not be a dick. Kayla likes to post pictures of the, whenever we do DisasterCast so that people have a visual reference for some of the things she talks about.
Alright, I posted the original picture of just the little Dickett trying its hardest to move some of that, sand out of the way so the ship can move, and I also got an aerial picture of what the ship looked like stuck in the canal, and it's so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, spoiler alert, it's rough.
Okay.
It's like somebody gets Celine Dion or Sarah McLachlan to sing a sad song about this.
Then people will care.
Yeah. For just 7 cents a day, less than the price of a cup of coffee. You too can help kickstart our economy that we've whose function we've precariously placed on one ship, on one trade route.
Yep.
always being accessible at all times.
So anyway, they also took high-capacity pumps into the ship to redistribute the weight of the fuel oil and the water ballast. We've talked about this before. Ships have water ballast in them to basically help counteract whatever cargo they get in to try and keep the ship balanced.
Exactly.
So they were trying to kind of move it to one side and then move it back. They were literally trying to wiggle it back and forth to get it to move.
It's like, let's just wiggle it.
Oh my god, looking at all this and doing this research, I'm just like, you are literally doing what 6-year-old me would do to try and fix the issue.
I sucked up the last one. I don't know why I couldn't suck up this one.
Just wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah.
So none of this worked. Well, all of
Yeah, spoiler alert, none of that
No. I'm sorry. I misread what I wrote.
Uh-huh.
So, they had a plan if none of that worked. If none of that worked, they were gonna basically bring in big-ass cranes, both on ships and on the shore, to take the cargo off the ship piece by piece, and load it onto either, trucks or other vessels that they can squeeze in. To basically, come in the canal, come to the ship, get some cargo, and then turn around and go back the way they came.
Goody. I'm dead.
Yeah, and they wanted to avoid this because it would cost a lot of money and it would cost a lot of time. Which is why... That's honestly why the picture of the little tractor trying to dig out the boat became famous. Because that was literally their best bet on trying to avoid having to unload the ship. They were trying so hard to just get that little digget to work.
Removing the cargo off of the ship really, believe it or not, despite how long it took to unclear the, it would, like, removing the cargo
days
actually
that
would have
ship
taken...
was stuck, that was the fastest possible way they could have done it.
Honestly, yeah. Well, like, we poke fun, but that really was the case.
Yeah, so it was literally just excavators digging out the bow of the ship and moving all of that, dirt and silt, and at the same time having the ballast water removed from the ship to try and lighten it up a little bit.
Okay.
To make it easier to move.
Let's go.
So, let's see. So, 2 days after the initial block, by March 25th, 8 tugboats were on site and just trying their damnedest to pull this big bitch out.
They were doing their best.
They were doing their best. They're trying, sweetie. They're trying.
Basically, yeah.
The day after that, March 26th, the Suez Canal Authority, again, SCA, accepted help from the U.S. Navy to have some dredging experts basically take a look and see, what do you think we can do to
just like take a look at it and say, well, there's your problem.
Yes, literally.
Shout out to Kayla's favorite podcast.
Well, there's your problem. They are much better at this than I am because they have an actual engineer on their payroll.
You're so good at this.
I'm a dumb bitch who does research. That's what I do.
Sometimes that's more than some people do, to be honest with you.
Hey, you know what? It's fine.
Anyway.
So they had the U.S. Navy take a look, see what the problem was and what they could do to fix it in the fastest possible way. And they only accepted the help after the president of Egypt said the canal would be cleared within 48 to 72 hours.
And then they were like, motherfucker.
Yeah. So...
You know, whenever your boss makes a really, really insanely unrealistic deadline.
No, I don't work in video games.
Ow.
Too real?
I mean, still funny.
So the next day, March 27th, 14 tugboats were now there, again trying to help move this big bitch by taking advantage of the fact that there was a high tide that day. And again, over 300 ships were delayed at both ends of this canal, so they had a big investment on trying to get this big bitch to move.
Yeah.
It's just like, we gotta make it happen. It's gotta happen, Captain.
It's gotta happen. Whatever else we do, we gotta make this work.
Yeah, I have a note in here that says people were getting really impatient and the memes were bountiful.
Yeah.
The next day...
It is hard to have an engineering disaster nowadays, because, like, it's not just you have the, personal embarrassment of the engineering disaster, it's also the internet is going to make fun of you.
Oh god, yes. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's actually kind of worse.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next day, on March 28th, basically all the digging and all the tugging to try and move this big bitch, they finally got the stern and rudder at high tide, so the water was able to finally run under the ship again.
Yay!
And then the next day...
Oh god!
It was only until March 29th that this big bitch was finally refloated and put back in the water. It was finally able to do so. And this was because a tidal flow was able to pull it free at around 3:05 p.m. because there was a king tide of a supermoon, also known as my drag name.
King tide of a supermoon.
That literally saved them.
Wow.
Because of this meteorological thing, they just happened to get the help they needed to fix it.
Storm was just flying by and was like, y'all fucking up again? Alright, I guess I can help you. And, like, created a very rare meteorological event to save their asses.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'll say shit like this and Kayla will be like, I mean, you joke, but yeah, that's kind of exactly what happened.
Yeah. So,
it's like the Bramble Pippington thing. Like, I'll make a joke and someone will be like, how the fuck did you know what was going to happen?
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't. Because I just made a joke. Anyway, so Storm comes along and saves their asses.
So after the ship was finally freed, it was towed by 14 tugboats to Great Bitter Lake for inspection, and the canal was officially opened again at 7 p.m. on March 29th. After they made sure the bottom of the canal wasn't so fucked up that any more ships were gonna get stuck.
Yeah, they're just like, let's just do a real quick check, make sure that, this shit ain't gonna happen again.
Pretty much. Like, they checked the dirt and the sand on the bottom of the canal to make sure that this couldn't happen again.
Right.
So, as of right now, the aftermath on this. So, after the ship was inspected and found to be, honestly, basically fine.
I'm like, oh, well, that worked out better than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, the ship basically came out fine. So, Egypt immediately impounded the thing.
Naturally.
Yeah, they immediately impounded
God forbid, it's like, okay, guys, yeah, God forbid we have one thing.
Yeah, so they impounded the ship for compensation in the loss of revenue caused by the blockage and the resulting royal fuck-up of trade through the waterway.
Okay? So basically all that shit's still not getting moved?
Yeah, all the cargo that's on there is still, like, sitting there.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
That was one part of this I did not...
Because Egypt is holding it hostage at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Egypt, that's kind of a dick move, not gonna lie.
Yeah, right now the Evergreen is stuck in Egypt, and because of all the owners and the different countries that I mentioned earlier having control over the ship, it's basically gonna be just this huge mystery of, okay, who do we charge for this? Who do we send the bill to?
Who do we blame? Fucking who do we blame?
Yeah, it's literally a thing of who do we send the bill to for this shit?
Wow.
Yeah, so Egypt, again, has this whole thing impounded because they don't know who to send the bill to.
You almost said, who do we send the receipts to?
Yes! I almost did. And now I was like, wait, that's not right.
You send the receipts to the Aleezy Easy channel. Shout out to Aleezy, one of my favorite commentary / drama channels of all time. Or you send it to D'Angelo Wallace.
Yes.
Shout out to D'Angelo Wallace. I'm sure he's super thrilled to be getting a shout out from our amazing podcast.
Of course.
It's like, oh yeah, I hit the big time, got a shout out on DisasterCast.
Yeah, so basically, that's all the info I could find right now. No one has been named for causing that big bitch to block the boats. Except for that woman that you mentioned earlier, but again, she was found to be like hundreds of miles away, so they don't have a definitive person they can name for causing this problem.
Still trying to find someone to blame on this right now. That's the current status.
They're still trying to find someone to blame. The cargo ship is being held hostage by Egypt to get their money back for a 6-day shutdown in the middle of an already bad time for the industry thanks to a goddamn pandemic.
What pandemic? I don't know what you're talking about. There's no pandemic going on.
Oh yeah, it automatically went away because we got vaccinated.
Yeah, a few people got stabbed in the arm, and just like that, the pandemic was over.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing, y'all?
Yeah. So that's all I got for the Suez Canal. Goddamn, people. That's all I got.
Yeah, this is going to be updated as we learn more.
Yeah.
I mean, is this even something that can be blamed? It sounds like it was mostly a weather event.
It's like
the weather caused it, and then the weather even did us a solid by kind of sort of fixing it.
Well, it's kind of like what I did earlier of being like, why the fuck are you driving in the middle of a sandstorm?
You know, that's fair.
So they're gonna try to pull that, but at the same time, I also mentioned earlier, hey, people have fucking deadlines they gotta meet.
Capitalism creates a problem, and then scolds you for your handling of that problem, even though capitalism put you in that situation in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe Egypt should widen the canal, huh? Just stretch that bitch
they're
right out.
trying. They were trying. They
get in there with a massive speculum and just like widen that shit.
I mean, to be fair, they are trying to widen the canal.
It's like they're trying. They're trying.
There is a project underway to widen the canal. It just got a little bit of a delay thanks to this. Okay, anyway.
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich. So we have the MS Estonia or the Hyatt Regency Walkway disaster.
I want to hear about the Walkway. This has been like, I've been excited about this for a while.
The largely requested Hyatt Regency Walkway.
I want to hear this because I've been really, really intrigued by this ever since I mentioned it? Yeah, ever since this first came up as a topic, I've been interested in this.
Okay.
So, I'm doing an executive decision. Sorry, chat. We're hearing about the Walkway next.
Well, that just leaves the worst story for last.
Even better. I like being nice and depressed on a Sunday, on the day of the Lord.
Okay. Let me get the pictures queued up real quick.
Alright.
I have a lot more pictures of the MS Estonia just because this is so much of a fuck up. Okay, that one. I had to specifically find pictures of the Hyatt Regency Walkway disaster that did not include bodies.
Yeah, we try to, I mean, we understand that bodies are sort of just going to be a part of this kind of thing, no matter what, but we try to maintain some level of courtesy towards the dead, basically.
As someone who has seen video of a man who killed himself live on TV, I don't want to spread, like, any more bad shit into the world to other people if I can help it.
Basically, yeah. Like, we do not... I will not judge what you yourself choose to Google, but...
Yeah, you can Google it all you want. That's totally fine. I'm not including it for the sake of people who are just like, no.
Yeah, like, nah, you can just tell me about it.
There's a person in the window. Oh my god, there is a person in that window. By the way, that's not a window. That's where the walkway was.
Oh, fun times.
Okay. So, background. So, the United States, back in...
is a hellhole. Awesome. And yet somehow we're still doing the vaccine better than just about every... What the fuck is happening when we're doing better on the vaccine distribution?
I don't know. I'm still stuck in the mindset of 2020 at this point.
Yeah. Everything is hell.
Yeah. Panda Brady said, oh my god, there's a person in the window. My stream abruptly ended. I was worried for a second there.
I appreciate your concern, Panda Brady, but we are fine.
Okay, so the United States had a bit of an unemployment problem back in the mid-70s.
Mm-hmm.
Still have
got a little bit of an unemployment problem problem now.
I can't wait for my disability to be approved once they give me the paperwork. I'm deeply broken. So anyway. Because of this unemployment problem, contractors were fist fighting each other basically to get work.
That's rough.
So construction began on the 40-story Hyatt Regency Kansas City Hotel beginning in May 1978. And of course, the construction tried to be rushed and fast-tracked as much as possible so they could get more jobs.
Because capitalism.
And before you ask...
This DisasterCast is gonna turn me into just a full-blown communist.
Don't tell Dad that.
Yeah, he doesn't understand hyperbole. Anyway.
Yeah. Also, I checked. There was not a goddamn Build-A-Bear in the hotel!
Okay. I wasn't even gonna mention it, though.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
You were gonna.
I resent that implication.
Because it's a fact.
No comment.
So,
anyway.
It became the tallest building in Missouri because Kansas City is in Missouri for those who are not in the United States.
Going home and feeding my cat.
Okay.
Give my cat a meal.
Okay.
It was a secret Build-A-Bear. you had to tap the proper, you had to tap the proper code on the door, you have to tap the proper code whenever they open it up. You have to, give the secret password, which is some shit like Snuggle Hugs or something like that. It's like a speakeasy, but for Build-A-Bear.
Bumbus98, thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow, Bumbus98.
Welcome
to this.
Welcome, comrades, to DisasterCast. Down with capitalism. Do not be a pig dog.
Yeah, I made a couple of streams. You're not entirely incorrect. Here you go, Jean. You enjoy that food.
Oh,
She's so happy.
oh, so cute.
That was close.
Nice jump.
So, Kansas City, which is in Missouri, this became the tallest building there, and it actually included a rotating restaurant on the top floor of the building.
Because, why not?
I want to have motion sickness when I'm having food.
Yeah, I've never been on a rotating restaurant. I don't know if I would do that. Because the same as you, I worry that I would get sick.
Look, I already need to have fucking seasick patches whenever Dad drags me on a boat. I'm not gonna try a rotating restaurant.
Fair enough. That's fair.
That was close.
There were also numerous setbacks and delays in building the hotel, which included the collapse of 2,700 square feet of roof.
So, it was almost like there was almost a warning for this shit.
She's a cursed building, Captain!
Oh, God.
Also, yes, Kansas City is in Missouri. We don't know why either. There's also a Kansas City in Kansas.
Because America is a dystopian hellhole.
Yeah, that's right. Kansas City is in half in Missouri, half in Kansas, and it's kind of seen as a tax haven.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I remember learning about that on something having to do with cults. Of course
it was something having to do with cults.
Well, I think it was in Utah or something. There's this cult that had part of their town in one state, part of their
Mormonism.
Part of their town in another state. So if they were charged for a sex crime in one state, they can literally go across the street into another state and not be charged because of jurisdiction. Anyway, so the hotel officially opened on July 1st, 1980. You just look so done. How do those stay contained, ma'am?
I'll take it.
Listen, KT tape does wonders. As someone who has had to tape their boobs up with KT tape before, trust me, that shit does wonders.
You don't have big boobs like I do, though.
That's true. By the way, a little thing to know about KT tape, if you're using it to tape your boobs up for a drag show, rubbing alcohol is what you want to put on there to, dissolve, and just pour the rubbing, like, saturate that shit in rubbing alcohol, stand in the shower, be patient. Give it time, it will peel off easily, and you won't end up with some very terrible marks all over your nip-nips. Anyway.
So the lobby was the big main feature of the building and incorporated a multi-story atrium, which you could see in the pictures. So there were 3 elevated walkways suspended from the ceiling. All of them were about 120 feet long, and they each weighed about 64,000 pounds each.
Because we had to be bougie with it.
Well, the walkways were constructed with steel, glass, and concrete.
Okay.
So they some heavy bitches.
Yeah.
They connected the 2nd floor, the 3rd floor, and the 4th floor between the north and south wing. The 4th floor walkway was suspended directly over the 2nd floor walkway, but the 3rd floor walkway was offset a couple yards, basically just off to the side being like, nah, bitch, I stand on my own.
Nice.
Okay, let's see. God damn it, I lost my place for a second. Hold on.
Oh, you can't go too fast, I guess.
God damn it, where is it? There it is. Okay. So the day of. On the evening of July 17th, 1981, about 1,600 people were gathered in the atrium lobby for a tea dance.
What's a tea dance?
I tried to find out what it was.
You knew I was gonna ask that.
I tried. It's an afternoon tea with dancing that originated in the 19th century. That's about the best I could find out. It's just, it's a thing rich white people do, okay?
I have a horror story for y'all. Cosplayer in my area used heavy.
Oh god!
Oh no! Is she okay? Legitimately? Y'all, don't ever use duct tape on your boobs.
No,
ever.
don't do that. Ooh.
And do not bind with ace bandages.
No.
Bind safely, everyone.
Do your research. So anyway, at 7:05 p.m., the 2nd floor walkway, or the 2nd level walkway, had about 40 people on it. An undetermined number of people were on the 3rd floor walkway, and between 16 and 20 people were on the 4th floor walkway. So we got some people elevated along with, like, again, the 1,600 down on the floor of the atrium.
Okay.
So, guests reported hearing loud popping noises. The 4th floor walkway then just sunk several inches, paused, and then fell completely onto the 2nd floor walkway. But wait!
God.
But wait!
It paused mid-fall?
Yes. But wait! With over 120,000 pounds of concrete, not to mention all the weight from the bodies, both of them then fell onto the main lobby floor. And again, these were over the atrium.
Ah, that is a hell of a fall.
Yeah. Anyway. Rescue. Rescue lasted for about 14 hours because the fire department jacks couldn't move the piles of glass, concrete, and steel mixed in with the people being crushed underneath it.
Right.
The Kansas City Emergency Medical Director, Joseph Wakerly, that's the best I'm gonna do, he oversaw the operations. So, in not as awful people information, a lot of citizens actually came out with torches, jacks, compressors, jackhammers, concrete saws, and generators to aid in the rescue.
Wow, people were like, hey, we'll come and help.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially people who own, like, construction businesses, were like, no, we're gonna give you all the support that you need.
That's really awesome.
Oh yeah, Bungie, I'm gonna get into the rods and how it fucked up the walkways. Cranes were also, of course, brought in, and they actually forced,
Use this.
I don't know. They actually forced booms through the lobby windows to help with lifting debris.
Okay.
And again, in information for people who are not garbage, local industrial companies urged the fire department to take anything that they needed. They did not send them any bills. They didn't keep inventory. They were just like, they may not have gotten everything back, but they didn't care. They were just like, take anything you possibly need.
That is... It's weird how sometimes these things kind of become like... Okay, I move forward either way, so like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
I don't know anymore. I'm gonna try just not pressing anything and see what happens.
So yeah, they didn't ask for bills, they didn't do inventory counts, they were just like, take whatever you need.
Okay.
The dead were taken to a ground floor exhibition area as a makeshift morgue, because the city couldn't fit all of them.
Oh, goody.
Anyone who was able to...
Look, see, I'm going the... Oh, I can't turn around! I tried to turn around! I tried to turn around! Like, so many times I tried turning around and it wouldn't let me do it!
You okay?
I'm kind of pissed. Okay, I can do it then. I can do it this time.
So, anyone who was able to walk out of the disaster, they were basically told to leave the hotel to make the rescue easier, and they were given morphine to anyone who was seriously injured before they were corralled outside, basically. There you go. There you go. Look at you. So they were asking people to leave because rescuers were also dismembering a lot of bodies to get survivors out of the wreckage.
Makes sense.
Yeah. One surgeon reported having to amputate a victim's crushed leg with a chainsaw on site.
God damn.
This thing was really fucked up.
Just imagine you're just like laying there just like, man, this was just I didn't even want to come to this stupid fucking dance. I was just here as a work thing, and my wife really insisted that I go because she was like, oh, you need to network. And now here I am. I'm stuck under this pile of rubble, and there's a guy next to me getting his leg sawed off. Oh god, this is so fucking miserable right now.
Oh, don't worry, it gets worse.
Well, hold on to that thought for just a minute while we go talk to what's-her-face.
Okay. I was gonna give the one good thing.
What was the one good thing?
Blood centers around the town had huge lineups of people coming in to donate.
Well, at least there was that. It's amazing how when shit like this happens, sometimes you do end up seeing the absolute best of humanity in those moments.
Yeah.
You mean your best friend? The shopkeeper?
Sylvia, I want to make a deal. I'll conquer the rankings, fight whoever it takes. And in return, you find me the assholes who killed Bishop.
Calm down. You shouldn't make this personal.
Don't tell someone to calm down whenever they're pissed off.
To lose a battle.
This isn't a battle anymore. It's a motherfucking war.
Fine. It makes no difference, really. The mastermind behind Bishop's death is the owner of Pizzabat. This building, most of this city, he is the head of the corporation that runs it all. Jasper Bat Jr. And as fate would have it, he is also the #1 assassin.
You better not be lying.
It is a fact. The object of
I love how she
revenge
just
is
completely
waiting at the
ignores
top
that.
of the ranks. Wonderfully convenient, don't you
I
think?
mean, what else does she do?
Sure is.
Is that the guy from
There's
Watch
a new
Dogs?
hotel on the beach. The 50th ranked assassin is waiting for you there. By the way, Bat Jr. owns that hotel too.
He really is everywhere, huh?
Better hurry. There are 50 other fighters trying to kill him. You have no time to waste.
Just sit back, Sylvia, and watch the hell I'm gonna raise.
I mean, you know, I do sympathize. I totally get it.
He was
A
the
good
leader
porn man
of
is hard to
his
find.
cult. Taking advantage of people's sorrows, he used his music to lure followers. He spoke of a grand all to satisfy his own goal.
To get laid? Because that seems to be the goal for everybody.
Strong financial support from the new mafia, who used his pulpit to gain support for their own agenda. Many believed he was just a tool of an up-and-coming gangster. But the real goal that drove him? That's a secret.
Oh, fuck off. That's a secret. It's still a mystery. Alright, so Jim's listening to Robert get his leg sawed off, and people are lining up around the block to give blood.
But wait, it gets worse!
Oh, God.
So, as a result of the collapse, the sprinkler system attached to the walkways also fell and disconnected, which released water onto the rubble. So, survivors were at risk of drowning while they were there.
Quick reminder, everyone, because you'll remember from the last episode that a lot of times, whenever you're in a collapsing situation like that, when you survive the initial collapse, then the true danger becomes drowning, because you can end up pinned down in such a way that you drown in just a couple of inches of water, which is just so fucking terrifying.
Yeah, luckily they were able to turn it off, like, very soon after it happened.
That's good.
The final victim, Mark Williams, he actually spent over 9 hours pinned under the lower skywalk. His legs were dislocated, and he had nearly drowned before they had finally shut off the water. Oh wait, it gets worse! So, visibility was poor during the rescue because of all the dust and concrete pieces flying up from the cutting and the bed, so they already couldn't see. To make it even more worse, they had to shut off the power to the building to prevent fires.
Right.
And this shit fell at 7:05 p.m.
It's fucking dark, man.
Only 29 people were rescued from the rubble.
Holy shit. So if you didn't survive that initial... So if you survived the initial drop, that still wasn't a guarantee that you were gonna make it.
No, you would have to, like, have non-lethal injuries. You'd have to be able to not get in a position to drown easily. It's just a whole mess.
You gotta see how well you can handle taking a chainsaw to the leg.
Yeah. So, the investigation...
Oh, the best part! The part where people find ways to skirt responsibility for the problems they created.
Well, before that... So... Architectural engineer Wayne G. Wayne was set to investigate shit and find out what happened.
Okay.
Over the next few years, a whole bunch of investigations and a whole bunch of tests were run to find out what went wrong. And it kind of turned out that everything went wrong, basically.
Great.
So...
Okay.
The National Bureau of Standards said that the corporate culture of the building was so neglectful and that everyone wanted to walk away from responsibility. The walkway pretty much had only the minimal capacity to resist their own weight rather than the ability to actually carry or hold anything.
It's basically like, so y'all wanted to be fancy and you didn't take into account the goddamn engineering of your fanciness.
Literally, yes.
I'm sorry, but honestly, this is why every architect should, like, have a engineer who, like, follows them absolutely everywhere and has absolute veto power on every single decision that they make.
I mean, Class Action Park is a legend for a reason. Sorry, just Action Park. I just reflexively call it Class Action. Anyway.
We've been doing this. Yeah, this is how much the DisasterCast stuff has affected Kayla.
So anyway, for an example how fucked everything was? Most changes and building concepts were confirmed over the phone rather than by looking at actual architectural plans.
Holy shit, people.
To confirm what they were looking at and approving. And because they were over the phone, they didn't have a way of going back and confirming what they had said before.
Oh my god. Get shit in writing, y'all!
Yep. So, the two walkways were fastened to the ceiling by tie rods, which were supposed to continually pass through the welded beams that made the walkway.
But I'm guessing that what they were supposed to do and what they actually did was a little different.
Well, I mean, it's basically what was supposed to happen at the shopping mall with the non-existent Build-A-Bears, where the beams holding shit up were supposed to, like, go down in a straight line, but they were moved to the side and didn't hold weight properly, you know?
Yeah. Makes sense.
So, it was supposed to be one long rod going from the ceiling down to the 4th floor walkway, connecting and ending down at the bottom of the 2nd floor walkway. So just one long 40-inch rod. Or 40-foot rod.
Okay.
But the contractors fucking hated this idea. Because basically, to secure the rod through the beams that were going to make up the walkways, it was just basically like a single nut was going to be going up the rods to connect them and hold the weight as to where the walkway was supposed to stop.
So literally the thing that stopped, that would be keeping people from dying was hoping that we didn't bust a nut.
Yeah. You joke, but yeah.
I'm only slightly joking, sister.
So the contractors hated this idea because they would have to screw the nut up 2 stories to get it to where it needed to be.
I just realized they made a Jesus bolt!
Yeah.
You remember I told you about the Jesus bolt on helicopters? That if it fails, the crew will be joining Jesus?
Yeah.
They made a Jesus bolt!
That is a Jesus bolt.
Fucking hell. Don't ever make a Jesus bolt, everybody!
Yeah, and while this would have been a lot better, it would have been, like, more structurally sound, again, the contractor said, no, I don't want to screw that up 20 feet into the air to where the walkway's supposed to be at.
Okay.
It could partially strip part of the rod, but it was mainly just a thing of, I am not going up 2 stories to screw it up.
Okay. Alright. Alright.
Laziness.
Yeah. Alright, Miss. Alright, fucker.
So, instead, the contractors decided to separate...
God forbid you had to do your job or anything.
So, instead, what they decided to do, instead of having one long rod, was break it into 2. So, the end of the first rod connected to the ceiling would stop at the bottom of the 4th floor walkway. And the beginning of the new rod supporting the 2nd walkway was being held in the beam of the 4th floor. What this meant was the nut at the bottom of the rod threaded at the bottom of the 4th floor walkway. It was not just supporting the 4th floor walkway, now it had to support the rod and the weight of the 2nd floor walkway as well. It wasn't doing that before.
Oh my god!
So you put double the weight onto this one nut.
It's like a double Jesus nut now. Now it's a Jesus wept nut, is what it is.
Yeah.
Because, like, I am sitting here like, Jesus wept.
But wait, there's more!
Yeah, nuts aren't designed to do this, by the way. I'm not an engineer, but I can tell nuts are not designed to do this. Because, yeah, like Bungie says, conflicting tension forces as well.
But wait, there's more! So, on top of that bullshit design, another thing that the walkways were built that fucked up how the walkways were built was that they were built by having 2 cross beams welded together at the top. Cross beams are normally welded at the side. Again, no idea why this changed. But because of this, the rods were going through the top and bottom seams where this welding was done. And fun fact, the welded portions of a beam are the weakest parts of the beam.
That is true. Also, Raging User, I know that. I mentioned that when we first talked about a Jesus bolt / Jesus nut, I called it a Jesus bolt whenever we first talked about it, and I said it was the part that it's basically the last bolt that holds a propeller on top of a helicopter, and the name comes from the fact that if it fails, the crew will be joining Jesus. In this case, it's a Jesus nut.
Yeah. But wait, there's more! There's more bullshit on top of bullshit.
Let me kill this guy really quick, and then...
This must be karma. Travis touchdown.
Spare me the mystery.
Did I kill his brother too?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Holy shit, dude!
That is an inappropriate use of your prostitutes, man.
I see the rumors were true.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know who's talking about me, but that nickname's all right.
Listen to me, Your Highness. These rankings mean nothing to me. Neither does my sect or the mob. My only true calling was to clash swords with you. That's why I joined this contest. I was starving for a worthy foe.
Then you're in luck. Because I'm as worthy as it gets. And I've got a shit ton of anger to work out.
That's what I like to hear. This is it. This is what I've been praying for. I'm weary of this gilded world. Oh, glitter, no soul. Save me from sorrow, crownless king. Thy sword and thy wrath will deliver me.
You should go easy on that crazy punch. How about I just cut you a new one?
We'll both do as divinity commands.
Divinity Original Sin? I tried to play that game.
So, there's more. When they finalized this bullshit design without having run through the map to see the weight it could support, without checking to see if it was structurally sound, or even visually confirming what they planned on doing, it was just given the okay, let's do it, fuck it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
This is why you get everything in writing. The investigation's takeaway was that there was such poor communication and lack of visual confirmation on designs that pretty much led to this bullshit.
Yay.
Aftermath! So, rather than giving proper care and highlighting the brave survival stories of the people who lived, most reports focused on the investigation on why this happened. So we didn't talk about survivors, we didn't talk about what people went through, we were just...
It's like, no, who can we blame for this?
Which, yeah, just a whole bunch of articles on like, what was the structural soundness of this thing in the first place? And I'm just like...
Which, I mean, granted, that is a valid question, but like, you know... Can we not ignore the people who went through a lot to survive this?
Yeah. The Missouri Board of Architects, professional engineers, and land surveyors condemned the company and the engineers who oversaw the designing construction, which was Jack D. Gilliam and Associates.
Okay.
They were charged with gross negligence, misconduct, and unprofessional conduct, but they were also all acquitted of this.
Fuck off!
The most that happened was the company lost its engineering licenses in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Texas, along with their membership to the American Society of Civil Engineers.
Oh, how terrible for them. You know, it's probably a good thing that we talk about this whenever I'm playing games like this, because I can just sort of, like, take out my anger on these folks. Think about it on Pixel.
Fair.
Yeah, rich friends in the right places. Corporations have a grip on, like, literally every single facet of our daily life. Hashtag eat the fucking rich.
Congratulations on a fantastic victory. You are now ranked 50th.
Just 49 left. This is gonna take a while.
You were spectacular.
Better hurry. Like you said, I don't want anybody getting to that bat bastard first.
Look at you, Travis. Violence is the only way you can express yourself, no?
Oh, I'm
That
in
sounds
the
about right.
zone, baby.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna hold me back.
You know, like, I kind of started off this whole series, like, being like, oh, Travis is such a loser and all that shit. But I do actually kind of find myself more and more identifying with them in the sense, not like in the sense of, oh, I am so put upon my poor white male self, oh no, it's so difficult for me. But just, like, more in the sense of, like, yeah, whenever he says shit that's like, that makes no sense, I'm like, yes, thank you, Travis!
Anyway, let's get to the lawsuits.
Yes, please.
So over 300 civil suits were filed, adding up to about $3 billion total sought in compensation.
Okay.
So only about 140 million were awarded to the victims and families.
Travis, it's me.
Fucking hell, man.
Who am I killing?
You'll see. It's definitely going to be unusual. Come to my office.
I have forwarded the directions to your map. I'm busy, so hurry up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm having some frame drop, so I'm going to really quick. I'm gonna stop and restart the stream, okay, y'all? This will just take a second. Please stick around. We're not stopping. I'm just restarting the stream because I'm having some frame issues. So
Stay.
just give me just one moment, everybody. I'll be right back.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, so sure. Ugh. Okay, we should be back. I dropped the I dropped the bit rate a bit to see if that helps. I think I was probably doing a pretty high bit rate from another thing that I was doing. I just never turned that down.
I just sat here and looked pretty while she did it.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, lawsuits.
Yay.
So a class action suit was also filed against Crown Center Corporation, the management company of the hotel, and also actually a subsidiary of Hallmark Cards.
Oh yeah, Hyatt is a subsidiary of Hallmark, aren't they?
Yep.
Hallmark cards are what caused all of this, everybody.
Yes. Hold on.
You gotta sneeze?
Damn it, stop.
Oh, sorry.
So, they get about $10 million from this class action suit, and for their kindness, there was also an additional $6.5 million in donations to charitable and civic endeavors that Hallmark said was used to help the city heal from the tragedy, but was more than likely just something to cover their own asses.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, the 1,600 hotel occupants of the night were offered an unconditional $1,000 in compensation, and about 1,300 of them took the offer.
Makes sense.
Close.
Yeah. Yo, kitty! Kitty! Yo! You can do it!
Oh.
Oh! You got it! You can do it! You can do it! Oh!
Well, I gotta try to make her miss, to be honest.
Gee.
You can do it!
Yeah.
Oh! Try again! Try again! I believe in you!
There you go. Come on, you got this.
Yo!
All right.
Do that. She lost weight.
Yo!
Give her a massage, and then we'll give her some.
Okay.
There.
So, all defendants denied legal liability, including that of egregious engineering faults.
Even though 100% what caused it was egregious engineering faults.
Yeah.
There.
Some bullshit.
But wait, it gets worse!
Ugh.
A lot of rescuers actually experience severe stress and trauma. And
From having to cut people's legs off with goddamn chainsaws? Jeez, I can't imagine why they'd feel stressed out by that.
yeah, they formed their own support group not long after the incident, and unfortunately, one jackhammer operator, Country Bill Allman, did take his own life.
Oh.
everything around 1983. About $5 million was put into reconstruction at the hotel to make it a lot safer than it was, and it also led to the hotel being renamed a couple of times. It was renamed the Hyatt.
We swear to God, we're not gonna drop anything on you if you stay at our hotel.
Pretty much. It was renamed the Hyatt Regency Crown Center in 1987, and it was renamed again to the Sheraton Kansas City at Crown Center in 2011, which is the current name. The case has gone down in history and has gained such infamy that it's used as a case study for first responders to learn the all hazards approach, and it's also used in engineering ethics classes to show how the smallest personal responsibility can lead to the worst disasters in big projects.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so Jack D. Gilliam, he was the one who owned the engineering company that kind of pulled this shit. He died in 2012. However, he actually gave the occasional lecture at engineering conferences for years after the incident, and he did claim full responsibility for the disaster. You know, after he won the lawsuits and everything.
Yeah, once they weren't allowed to sue him anymore, once everything got dismissed and couldn't be brought back up, then he was like, I shall now do the adult responsible thing and claim responsibility. Fuck you.
He said he wanted, quote, to scare the living daylights out of them, end quote, in the hope of preventing future mistakes.
Feels like you could have instead paid those victims.
Nope.
Yeah, no, we can't do anything tangible. Let's do, like, you could have taken the money that you're making from those lectures and put it towards the benefit of the victims and their families, but nope.
Yep. So that was the Hyatt Regency Walkway disaster.
What have we learned here today, everyone?
Get everything in writing.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Get everything. Everything in writing. And eat the rich, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well, Dex, that's just kind of a blanket lesson for everything we talk about.
So, how many people did end up dying from this?
Let me double check my numbers real. A total of 114 people died. Yep.
And then there were like 200 and something that were injured?
Yeah, 216 got non-fatal injuries.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's great.
You can cut corners on any engineering thing, and as long as you got the right friends, you'll be perfectly fine.
Yay.
Yep. So, our last and most heartbreaking story.
Oh, God.
The MS Estonia!
Damn it.
Oh, children, we are gonna have fun. So, I got a couple of pictures for this one. And I've just put a picture of what the MS Estonia looked like pre-disaster in the chat. With its folded up front.
Yeah, it's folded front, alright. Looks like a cruise ship.
It's actually a ferry.
Eh. Ferries are basically just cruise ships for poor people.
God damn, Bird.
Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where the lie of that statement was.
I mean, anyway, here's also a picture of it was a comparison picture I found to show you how big this fucking ship was.
Mm-hmm.
You could fit almost 2 Airbus A380s in this thing, which are very big airplanes.
Okay.
So this was a big bitch.
Big bitch.
Big bitch.
What the Fuck! I don't like this. I don't like this one.
Get better.
I'm trying.
Okay, and I got my last 2 pictures uploaded as well. For visual aids, since I'm gonna be talking about a ship going down.
Great.
You okay, Fern?
Yeah, I was like... I don't like this one!
Then don't play this one!
Well, I'm kind of stuck in it for a little bit.
So, background on the MS Estonia.
Mm-hmm.
So the MS Estonia was built from 1979 to about 1980. It came out to about 155 meters, i.e. 509 feet long.
Yeah, for people who use normal measurement systems.
We're in the minority here.
Yeah, but that's just because we're special. I don't actually mean that, everybody. That's just satire.
Satire.
Yeah,
Satire.
please don't take every single thing that I say seriously.
Exclamation point joke. So it went through a couple of redesigns because the ship was hopped around between different shipping companies as to who was gonna build and even use the damn thing.
Okay.
So it went through a lot of different things. The ship was ordered by Meerwerft, German shipyard. It was sold off in 1993 to Nordstrom and Thule, who owned it at the time of the disaster for their Tallinn-Stockholm route.
Okay.
The Estonia, it did go through a couple of companies in its run, and it actually went through a couple different names, too. Including the Viking Sally from 1980 to 1990, the Silja Star from 1990 to 1991, and the Vasa King from 91 to 93.
Okay.
But the MS Estonia was the name it had going down. When it was built, the construction...
So it's the only name that really matters when you think about it.
Yeah. But I like to include things.
Oh, yeah, I understand. Just making a point. Anyway,
so when it was built, the construction of the ship's bow consisted of an upwards opening visor and a car ramp placed inside the visor when it was closed. So it literally opened up the front of the ship so you could drive your car onto it.
okay. I mean, makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, and for extra irony points, it was the largest Estonian-owned ship at the time, symbolizing the independence Estonia gained after the collapse of the Soviet Union.
Yay!
Yay! Fine.
Everything's fine. Yeah.
So, the disaster itself. September 28th, 1994. Between 12:55 a.m. and 1:50 a.m.
Okay.
Not even a full hour.
Good.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be some shit. I'll just warn you now. Also, Vicky B, thank you for the sub.
Oh shit, did we get a... Oh, Vicky, thank you very much for the 4 months.
Yay!
Your support is greatly appreciated and allows us to keep doing stupid shit like this, so thank you.
Yeah. So, the ship was crossing the Baltic Sea from Tallinn. And it was carrying a total of 989 people. 803 of which being passengers, and 186 were crew. Most of them were Swedish, since the destination was Stockholm, but a number of them were also Estonian.
Okay.
Lots of white people, I guess. So the ship had been fully loaded, and before it even left port, it was already listing slightly to starboard because of poor distribution of the cargo.
So we've already, like... God damn, it amazes me how many times we have a situation that it's like, nature is doing everything in its power to warn you, hey, this is gonna be a problem.
Yeah. I literally have in all caps in my notes, off to a fantastic start.
Great.
And the weather that night was particularly rough, with winds going up to 15 to 20 meters per second. and wave heights reaching between 4 to 6 meters. For us dumb Americans, 13 to 20 feet high.
Oh, goody. Yeah.
There was also some rain, and the temperature was down to about 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was also cold. And, fun fact about the ocean, it runs colder than the temperature outside.
Yeah.
I think it runs like 5 or 10 degrees colder. Something like that. I don't know, I'm not a scientist.
Really? You're doing great at pretending to be one.
I am fantastic at sounding like I know what I'm talking about. That's why I had my job for so long.
That's just a family trait.
Yeah. So, the ship's first sign of trouble was a loud metallic bang heard that night. Most likely caused by a heavy wave hitting the bow doors around 1 a.m. But an inspection by the crewmate said, no, there's no problems.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. However, all the crewmate did was check the indicator lights for the ramp and the visor.
What the fuck?
He didn't actually walk over to see if anything was wrong.
That's like that bit in Spider-Man whenever they're like, hey, we're about to do this really, really important test, but we're detecting a living form within the thing we're about to... probably a bird. Hey, how about we open up the goddamn shade and just make sure?
Yep. So it turns out the locks on the bow door had failed from the strain of the waves, and the door was kind of knocking back and forth on its hinges.
Holy... How did that... Like, even after he says, no, everything's fine, like, I can hear whenever... Okay, so, y'all, we have a screened porch on the back of our house, and if one of the doors it's got 2 doors, and if one of those doors is unlatched and it's banging...
We can hear it.
I go out and check.
But wait, there's more!
Of course there is.
The bow visor and ramp had been torn at points that would not trigger an open or unlatched warnings to the bridge.
Okay. Oh, great. So, like, it's like if your car door is kind of open while you're on the highway, but it's not open enough to trigger your door open sensor.
Yep.
So even though you can hear wind, and you know you shouldn't be hearing wind that clearly, your door opening sensor's not indicating anything, so you're just like, oh, well, that's fine. And you just keep leaning against the door until it pops open and you fall out onto the highway.
Yeah, but there's more.
Oh, God.
There's more. So the bridge was too far back on the ferry to have a visual of the visor. They couldn't see it. And the video monitoring of the inner ramp wasn't visible to the raised platform of, command on the ship. No one could fucking see this thing. They just really relied on those lights working, and the fucking door tore at just the points where it wouldn't trigger the lights.
Great.
Yeah, fantastic. So, over the next 10 minutes, similar noises were being heard by both passengers and crew. Again, pretty much, most likely because the locking mechanism failed and the door was literally just getting hit by the waves and the wind and just knocking back and forth in place on the hinges. So, around 1:15 a.m., the visor separated from the ship completely and just fell into the ocean.
Wow.
It fell off. It fell the fuck off.
Just fell. Just fell. Great.
It fell into the ocean, and, so the loading ramp was just completely open to the elements now. As a result, the ship took an immediate and heavy starboard list, going from about 15 degrees at 1:15 a.m. when the thing fell off, to about a full 90-degree list.
Holy fucking shit!
A full 90-degree list by 1:50 a.m.
That motherfucker, that's not even a list, it's just laying down taking a nap at that point.
Yeah, because the ocean was flooding the vehicle deck and there was nothing stopping it anymore. I told you, this is some dark shit.
Yeah.
So, the Estonia managed to turn itself to port and to try to counteract the list that was starting before the 4 engines cut out with the water flooding in and leaving the ship basically stranded.
Holy. So it's just sitting there now.
It is literally just sitting there with water pouring in.
And all these people.
And all of these people, over 800 passengers.
Fucking hell.
So, around 9:20 a.m., about 5 minutes after the door fell off, a female voice did call out an alarm in Estonian over the public address system for passengers. And within a minute, the general lifeboat alarm was also activated.
Okay.
So they were pretty quick to just go ahead and tell people, like, shit's going down.
Well, at least they didn't pull a Concordia.
They didn't pull a Concordia. They didn't pull the seawall. They just immediately went, hey, get to your fucking lifeboats.
For those of you who, for context, we haven't covered the Concordia yet, but
oh my god, we could do hours on the Concordia.
So for context, the Concordia and the seawall, you said?
Yeah,
they basically, like, tried to cover up the fact that the ship was sinking as the boat was going down. Like, because they didn't want to admit that they'd fucked up.
The seawall killed a whole bunch of high school kids because they told them to stay in their cabins.
Yeah. The Concordia, the only reason why it didn't kill as many people
was because people were actively not listening to the captain.
Yeah, was because people were legitimately just like, nah, fuck you, man, we ain't listening.
Vata a bordo, cazzo.
Vata a bordo, cazzo. Means get the fuck back on board, by the way.
Yep.
It's what the Coast Guard yelled at the captain of
Captain
the boat.
Scatino.
Get the fuck back on board. Anyway, we definitely need to do an episode about that. Anyway, so the one responsible thing being done by this crew, they did alert the passengers.
Yeah. Oh wait, there's more! The huge list was getting worse every second, so a lot of passengers couldn't make it up to the boat deck.
Yeah. Lists are actually really hard to navigate, y'all. It's essentially like trying to walk on the wall.
But wait, there's even more. One of the reasons the list got so bad was because water was not only flooding into the car deck where the bow door had fallen off, but the windows to the passenger cabins and a massive window on deck 6 were also getting flooded, and they were getting broken and water was pouring in there too.
Oh, so we're just fucked 6 ways to Sunday is what's happening here.
But wait, there is even more.
Jesus.
The water was flowing in so harshly and so fucking quickly from the rough waves hitting the upper windows that when they gave way, the water rushed downwards through ceiling tiles and stairways to flood the lower decks that were not yet filled.
Oh my god.
People were trapped in on both sides.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This was pretty much a situation you just could not get out of.
Yeah, that literally, yes.
You know, whenever they always say, like, I don't know why we talk about ships sinking so much, because that is, like, legitimately one of my absolute biggest fears. Just because I know that when a ship is going down, it is... Demigod, thank you very much for the follow. There is basically just this hope that maybe the impact to the ship will be in such a way that you won't get trapped. But if the impact to the ship is in such a way that you do get trapped, you are fucked.
Yep.
There is nothing you can do.
Yep. Also, Panda, I am very well versed on the Titanic.
We're gonna do a whole Titanic episode. That's gonna be entirely for Kayla, because Kayla knows so much about the Titanic.
I love it! It's so horrible!
Okay?
No, seriously, I have, like, studied the Titanic on
No,
my
yeah, she
own.
has. Like, she knows everything that you could possibly know about the Titanic.
I led a group in the Titanic Museum.
Mm-hmm.
I am always gonna be...
Like, the employees were learning shit from her.
Yes! Yes! Yes, they were. Anyway, sorry. Back to this one. So, a mayday was issued by the ship's crew at about 1:22 a.m. So, this, again, is only a couple minutes after everything really started going literally sideways.
Mm-hmm. I see what you did there.
Ah! So, wait, there's more, though, that made this worse.
Right.
The Mayday was not in the international formats, So any nearby ships were mainly confused, and they could maybe catch whenever they were saying Mayday.
Oh, man.
Fun fact, the same thing happened on the Titanic, because the mandatory system for SOS was only just getting started and just becoming commonplace.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know why they didn't do SOS. I mean, you could... Anyway. One ship, the Celia Europa, actually they replied in English asking if the ship was calling Mayday, and they were only able to communicate to the third mate, Andres Canis, in Finnish.
Fucking hell! This stupid... Sorry, go ahead. Only able to communicate in Finnish.
Because that was, like, the one language they could both speak. But wait, there's even more. The power to the ship cut off before they were able to give their location.
Holy shit!
Don't worry! Power did thankfully come back. It was restored so the Estonia could relay their location to the Europa and nearby ship Mariella. So they were able to do that. And then the power went off again. So
like the power just was like, oh my bad. It came back on long enough for them to send their messages. Like, okay.
Someone down in engineering was like working their fucking ass off to restore power, even just for a couple minutes in the hopes that they could like send out distress messages.
Makes sense. Get on the engineering crew.
Yep.
Like Guru stopping his heart. Be a real dick move if I died right now.
Okay. So official reports say the ship sank at 1:50 a.m. because that was when it disappeared from radar screens, and it went down stern first after taking that 90-degree list I mentioned earlier. So it turned on its side and then just went, I'm out.
It said, I'm done. I'm taking a nap.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
So, the Mariella was able to reach the scene at 2:12 a.m. This is 22 minutes after the ship had just fully gone down.
Okay.
They were able to drop open life rafts on the site, and they were able to initially get 13 people on Estonia's life rafts moved onto theirs.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, there's more! It gets so much worse!
Oh god.
So, it took until 2:30 for an official full-scale emergency to be declared, because the original report taken by the Helsinki radio only relayed it as a less urgent pan-pan message.
Oh god.
Until the Mariella reported the survivors they were saving, only then did it get put up
Only
to
then
national...
were they like, oh fuck.
Yeah, this was almost 20 minutes after they got there and they were starting to save people.
Just FYI, everybody, any engineering disaster in general, but especially sinking ships, time really is of the essence.
Yeah, it's like the thing with the Titanic is like, they had the time to be able to launch all the lifeboats if they did it properly, they just didn't have enough of them.
Ugh, that's just the fine part about it. Because there was just no way to save everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep going off on the Titanic. Anyway.
Go off, Queen.
So, to make everything even more worse, most ferries who did arrive to rescue people weren't able to launch their own life rafts for the most part because the weather was still awful, the sea was full of choppy waters, and the rescue mainly had to rely on helicopters.
Okay.
And the thing with helicopters, they can only carry
so yeah, they can only carry so many people.
Yeah, exactly. So the Mariella was able to relay their position to the Swedish and Finnish rescue helicopters, the first of which arrived at 3:05 a.m. over a full hour after the ship went down.
Yeah, that is like, hey, y'all here to just pick up some dead bodies at this point?
They kind of were.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people the few people who were able to get out, a lot of them succumbed to hypothermia.
Okay.
Because the sea was that cold.
Yeah, it's like, because it's fucking cold out!
Like, it's 2:30, 3 in the morning. Like, it's just... the sea's already cold enough as it is. It's bad. It's bad. One helicopter was able to rescue about 44 people, and the MS Isabella arrived on scene later to rescue 16 survivors with its rescue slide.
Yay!
I mean,
granted, another 16 is still better than, 0 more survivors.
I was about to say, like, lives saved are
I'm
lives
sure those
saved.
16 people were pretty happy about it.
Yeah. So, out of 989 total people on board, 138 were rescued, with one dying later in the hospital.
Okay.
Most who did die succumbed to either drowning in the ship or from hypothermia in the water, which was between 50 to 52 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 to 11 degrees Celsius. It's cold. And only about 94 bodies were recovered. 93 of them were recovered within the first 33 days of the accident, but the last one was found over 18 months later.
Jesus.
Yeah. But wait, there's even more. As I mentioned, by the time rescue helicopters could arrive, at least 1/3 who had escaped the ship had already died of hypothermia.
Right.
And to add on to that, fewer than half who managed to leave the ship were actually rescued. Most survivors were young males. 7 survivors were over 55 years old, but no one younger than 12 survived.
God. Oh, God. You don't happen to know how many people were under 12?
No, I don't.
Oh, God.
Do you need me to stop?
No, it's just like, ugh.
So about 650 people were still inside the ship when it sank. About 310 managed to reach the outer decks and claw their way out. And only about 160 were able to board lifeboats or life rafts.
So...
over 700 people are still trapped in that boat underwater. Dead.
Yeah, I was about to ask, so the boat's still sitting there, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that, actually.
Ooh, what they did with their dead?
Actually, yes.
I've been binging Ask a Mortician, which...
Caitlin Doty!
Yeah, shout out to Caitlin Doty / Ask a Mortician on YouTube. Please go and watch her stuff, it's really amazing. Very in-depth look at deaths in history, while also remaining very respectful of the topic and the subject matter.
The bangs of death, yes.
The bangs of death, yeah. But I watched her episode this morning about Pearl Harbor.
Yep.
The fact that the bodies are still in those boats,
and you can see some of them.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, for the sake of closure for those families, those bodies really should be retrieved.
We're actually gonna get into a huge thing that happened with that.
Oh, alright.
Okay, so before we get to that, we're gonna talk about changes to procedure that came about from this, and also conspiracy theories.
Because there's always a conspiracy theory.
So, as a result of the fuck-up, in 1999, crews of any passenger ship... there we go. Were given training on crowd control and crisis management.
Okay.
Distress beacons, which would have aided the ship in displaying how fucked they were and exactly where they were.
Exactly where they were fucked.
Yeah, they had to be manually activated on the Estonia.
Right.
And they were not able to reach them to activate them. So now beacons are automatically activated under certain conditions. So there's that.
Unless they're a Russian submarine, in which case they'll just weld that shit shut.
Yeah. And this incident also allowed for legislation and requiring of voyage data recorders on ships. Which, if you know anything about airplanes, it's basically the equivalent of a black box. So it displays last movements of what was done on the ship based on like what controls were used. Sometimes they have recorders that can record in the bridge itself to give information on what was being said and record everything happening. It's exactly what happened with the Concordia.
Yeah, it's essentially a means of maintaining accountability.
Yeah. It's like maintaining accountability, being able to understand what happened should disaster occur. So, a lot of conspiracy theories actually exist around this ship. It's weird. Yeah, also they are goddamn near indestructible.
Except on the Concordia. That one shorted out for whatever reason.
That one did short out.
Although, can I give you my conspiracy theory on that?
They shut it off.
I do think that they legitimately shut it off.
Oh yeah.
I legitimately think that happened.
I believe that.
Anyway, continue.
So the most popular conspiracy theory with this is that it was a controlled explosion that was being concealed by the Swedish, British, and Russian governments because they were transporting military hardware on a civilian, ferry.
I beg your motherfucking pardon, good sir.
Okay, but wait. Another theory is that the ship had collided with a submarine. And it was... This theory... Okay, listen. This theory was made popular by a 2020...
This theory was made popular by generous contributions from viewers like you.
It was made popular by a 2020 Swedish documentary that illegally went down to the ruins and showed a 4-meter hole in the ship's hull when they went to film the wreck.
That could have been caused by a number of things, like, for example, water getting into the car, or also the giant goddamn flip that got ripped off.
Yeah, this thing happened in like 1999, 1998. It's been almost 30 years.
Yeah, like there's a lot of reasons why it literally could have hit a rock on its way down.
Yeah.
And that could account for that.
However,
yeah, corrosion.
The Estonian, Swedish, and Finnish prime ministers did announce that they would open a new technical investigation.
Okay.
After that discovery was made known to the general public.
Yeah, once people heard that, they're like, oh, well, I guess we should probably investigate.
Yeah. So, the protection of the wreck itself. Obviously, people who lost family in the wreck and curious investigators who want to research this vessel and see what happened, they requested that the Estonia be raised from the international waters it was in.
Okay.
You know anything about international waters, shit gets real complicated real fucking fast.
Yeah, it does. International waters are like a whole thing.
So, citing the cost, moral implications of raising decaying bodies, and the practicality of it, Swedish government pretty much buried the ship where it lay, with tons of pebbles being dropped on the location.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they basically said, no.
Just a fuck it.
Fuck it, we're not raising it, we're dumping some dirt and shit onto it to bury it.
This is why I emphasize to everyone that protesting and making your voices heard is very, very important. Because there is no change without societal pressure. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the ministers were, like, really willing to look into reopening the investigation after that 2020 documentary. And I don't believe in conspiracy. I genuinely do think it was just a thing of the fucking ship took on water after the door fell off. However, them pulling this shit is not helping with those conspiracy theories. I completely understand why people got them.
Yeah, you know the thing that helps, like, bury conspiracy theories is fucking transparency.
Yeah. So, the Estonian Agreement of 1995 came about, which was a treaty between Sweden, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Poland, Denmark, Russia, and the United Kingdom, with them all declaring sanctity over the site and prohibiting citizens from approaching the wreck.
Okay.
It's illegal, you can't go visit it.
Okay.
the documentary team from earlier, they actually did get initially charged for illegally going to a protected site, but they were acquitted on a technicality. You want to know what they did?
What did they do?
They chartered a German ship to take them to the site, where they put their underwater equipment down to go get the footage.
How did that...
Germany's not part of the agreement.
Ah. So Germany wasn't doing anything wrong.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, so they were completely acquitted purely because they went specifically to get a boat and a captain from someone who's not a part of that treaty. And as of today, the wreck is currently monitored by radar by the Finnish Navy because there is a real problem of people, like, trying to sneak in to go see the wreckage. Either see or loot from it, potato, potato.
Yeah, I was about to say, potato, potato.
Yeah. So, the aftermath and the last section of this story. No lawsuits. I was not able to find any lawsuits being made. Again, most likely because the sinking was technically in international waters. That might be part of it. The French courts have denied claims by the victims and families against the shipbuilder. So, they have complete...
Damn it, I keep fucking up those big weights. Sorry.
Get better. So, they have completely closed it in their country. They can't file any more charges in France about it. Estonian courts are actually still getting demands to this day to reopen the investigation on the site. It was, however, rejected in 2018 by the Ministry of Justice, citing lack of responsibility on their part, and that they see no reason for the government to reopen the investigation.
Of course they don't see any reason for the government to reopen the investigation.
Too much work.
Yeah. God forbid we have to do anything.
Yeah. So, again, I couldn't find...
I didn't take a government job to work. I mean, I joke, but that's... Yes, for some people, it's like...
So, again, I couldn't find any further information on any compensation. Most survivors and families just seem to want answers that...
Which makes sense!
I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, it's kind of obvious on what happened.
Yeah, that is true. It's like... I think for me it's more, you know, it's less about, well, what happened, because, like you said, it's pretty obvious what the fuck happened. It's more... These are people's loved ones who are trapped in that hull even now.
Yeah, it's either a thing of they just want their family members to be able to be buried, or it may be some family members who just can't accept the explanation given.
I mean, that's, yeah.
Like,
Truth does not always bring closure.
Yeah, have you ever heard the documentary, There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diane?
No. Tell me
it is so fucking... It's such a sad case. It's so sad. Basically, Diane Schuler, she was leaving a camping trip with her family and everything in Upper New York. She was carrying not only her 2 children, but the 3 daughters of her brother and sister-in-law. And something, I'm using big air quotes, something happened. She was most likely an alcoholic and may have smoked some weed. And she went a little bit crazy in a sense, to the point where she drove the wrong way down a major highway.
Oh shit.
At like 80 or 90 miles an hour and got head-on collision with another car.
Oh shit.
And killed everyone in that car.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, she killed almost everyone in her car, except for her son, but he still has like major eye problems, basically. And this whole documentary is like Diane's husband like refusing to accept that his wife was like
the cause.
Yeah. It's sad.
We're not trying to use that as like a PSA, by the way, to be like, oh, never ever smoke pot or else you'll go crazy and murder someone. it's a case of, like, just like I would never tell someone never, ever, ever drink. It's, as in all things, do it in moderation and responsibly.
Like, for example, don't drink and then drive a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are curious about watching There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diane, I'm giving you a huge warning. The documentary never gave me this, but at the end, they show, like, the crime scene photos of the accident.
Jesus.
You are seeing dead bodies. You are seeing a close-up of this woman's dead body.
I really wish that, like, I get, like, okay, I know people, they get all pissy about, hold on, let me do this little thing real quick, but, like, I know that people get all pissy whenever you mention trigger warnings, but y'all, trigger warnings actually are kind of important to have in certain situations. Like, for example, if you're making a documentary to sensationalize the fuck out of one woman's clear struggle with addictions, and a man's struggle to cope with the fact that his wife basically killed his nieces and almost his son.
Right.
Like,
So, who's next?
when a documentary is gonna sensationalize that, essentially, and talk about that, like, for publicity and shit,
I told you now.
yeah,
I'd ruin
fucking
the
have
surprise.
some, if you're gonna put your little shock horror shit into a documentary,
Whoever they are, I'll
fucking
make
warn
sure they get a
people.
nice
Yeah.
close-up of my
Because
beating
sometimes people
katana.
just want to know the story. They want to know what
Honestly,
happened. They
it's
want
ecstasy
information.
with you. It's
Every
like
Jim
you
Jones
get along.
documentary you watch, the responsible ones at least, will have some sort of warning
Everybody
that
deals with grief
there's
different.
that you're going to be listening to this man's insane
I cut off
ramblings,
heads.
and that you're going to be hearing people dying.
That there may be photos of the
Lost
bodies.
track.
Yeah, you're going to get a heads up on that. Just, you know, there is nothing wrong with at the start of a documentary saying, you know,
Warning for graphic
yeah,
images.
just be warned that you may see some graphic images. We are showing this because we feel that it's important to know. It's important to understand the impact of this one person's actions and what happened as a result.
Yeah.
We won't be doing a Jones, as far as I know, we're not going to be doing a Jonestown episode just because that's not an engineering disaster. We try to do engineering-based disasters around here.
Yeah. So, that's all I got. Tallinn and Stockholm have memorials for the MS Estonia and all those people who died on it. And that's about it. So what we learned today?
Sometimes... Oh, jeez. I have turned into a tiger! That's what we've all learned here today.
It's your persona!
I am the Tiger King! Suck it, Joe!
Where's Carol Baskin?
Where's Carol Baskin? Come here and listen to my terribly auto-tuned music that I'm stealing from another actual artist, and also I'm being sued by a band for it. That is actually legit.
100%.
He is actually being sued. I don't know what they expected. How do I switch to the other sword?
Fucking no.
Trying like a bunch of different buttons. Oh, did I do it? I guess I did it. Okay, did it. Anyway. Yeah. So I think that what I've learned here is, that, like, I don't know if it counts as what I've learned, because I sort of already knew this, but I guess a lesson that I would pass on in this situation is that, like I said, the thing that defeats conspiracies, theories, and shit like that really is transparency. And like I said at the start of today's episode, if you want things to change, you have to make a lot of noise until they do change, because no one will actually just have a change of heart because they'll realize what the right thing to do is. It'll come from public pressure.
Yell loud enough and shit will get done.
Honestly, yeah.
Yell loud enough and long enough.
That's, like, in my experience, that's the only way to change things is you have to yell about it. You have to make, like, a whole bunch of noise about it. Fucking hell. Can't believe I lifted that guy. The transparency is bigger than the conspiracy. Oh my god, Panda Brady, but also that was funny.
It's funny, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh
It's funny, but also fuck you.
Alright, so that's all I got.
That is our stories for today. Another reminder that the Suez Canal story will be updated as we learn more. It's just right now we just don't know much.
Yeah.
Like we said, the internet, when I say they, I mean the internet tried to pin this on Egypt's first female ship's captain. Gosh, I can't possibly imagine why the internet would do something like that. But they tried to do that, and she came out with the receipts like, nah, bitch, I was 500 miles away. Fuck off.
As soon as you hear. God damn it, Panda.
But that's also true, Panda.
That's so very true, but at the same time, god damn it.
Yeah, that's the, either public pressure or personal involvement is the only thing that's going to change anyone's mind. Like you said, like a Republican changing their stance on same-sex marriage. Dad was 100% full-blown, oh, all gays are... I sat in churches knowing I was gay while hearing him talk about how homosexuality is an abomination, and now he's suddenly changed his tune because I'm gay.
Yep.
So, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still better than him just, like, throwing me out, but, you know.
It feels like the weirdest reverse Uno card.
It is a weird situation whenever you know that you're that you're living in a state of conditional acceptance.
Yep.
Because then, like, because you're the only one because you're the thing that has quote-unquote made them change their mind, you sort of become an ambassador at that moment, and then it becomes, why do gays do that? And I understand
he literally does that.
Yeah, he does that to me all the fucking time. And look, I understand that the best way to further communications and tolerance is to have conversations. I understand that we do need to do that. But also, sometimes people get fucking tired of constantly having to justify their existence. And, like, just saying, if you, like, it's okay to ask questions, but when the person that you're asking those questions to is kind of given a clear vibe of, look, I kind of am, like, not in the mood to justify my existence today, like, just respect that, if you don't mind. Respect that.
Yep.
Why is it not?
I don't know.
Okay, well.
So, does anyone have any recommendations on what they want to hear next week?
Charlie has countless girls.
Yes, we are always taking suggestions either here in the stream chats on What the Fuck Sundays or in our tragedy topics section of the Discord. If you have something you would like to hear Kayla talk about, we need to decide what's going to be the best time to what's the best special occasion to talk about the Titanic.
So much that when their breathing is synchronized.
Oh, damn, we already missed the anniversary of
Yeah,
it.
I know, we missed the anniversary of it. About some train crash. I am kind of down for a couple more train crashes. Those are fun to talk about. So yeah, Subnautica stream. Subnautica stream is going to be the last Sunday of this month. Will that be okay with you? That is going to be. Hold on, that is a the calendar on my wall is from last year. I need to get a new calendar. That is gonna be
next Sunday.
Okay, well then next Sunday. Thank you for being patient, enemy, while I check that. So yeah, next Sunday we'll do our Subnautica Facecam stream. You down for that, Cal?
Yeah, I mean, I can do the Titanic thing next. I can try to stutter my way through it as I'm trying not to piss myself in fear.
That actually might be best because that way it's the Titanic is something that you know really, really well, so you don't have to look too deep into your notes.
Yeah.
While I terrify you.
Yep.
Also, I've got burps that keep happening, and I had leftover pizza this morning.
Yeah,
and
it's like
and like the burps I'm getting are from the green pepper on it, and it's like it's rough.
Mine are coming from the sauce I got on the crust.
Yeah, basically what we're saying is we're both falling apart.
I have been saying for weeks that I'm falling apart.
You know a lot about the Titanic, you don't have to look too deep. Yeah, I see what I did now. Dodge, mother... Hey! Dodge, bitch! Get out the way!
Let me put in here on my notes, actually. We're doing Titanic!
Yeah, it's just in big old letters. We're doing Titanic, bitch! All she'll have to do is just, like, brush up on dates and shit like that. By the way, before anyone asks, let's go ahead and put this to rest right here and now. Mythbusters did do an episode about the door.
I told her about that.
Mythbusters did. Kayla, would you like to share their findings? While I eat.
Okay, so according to the Mythbusters and any other research I have done on other people who have recreated this scene of the famous thing of, oh, Jack couldn't fit on the door. Yes, he could. He could have fit on the door. Yes, they did try to both climb on it in the very beginning. That's why he stayed in the water, so Rose could be able to sit there. But the main reason that they fell in the beginning was that there was so much water tension going on because they were both trying to fucking climb on that. Jack didn't exist and neither did Rose. Anyway.
And we know that Jack and Rose did. Oh, you mean within the story Jack didn't exist. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that theory.
I actually like that theory.
Well, it doesn't make much sense, though, because other people interact with Jack.
Well, yeah, but I like what it represents.
Yeah, I guess. Just the ramblings of a crazy old lady.
Yeah.
That's true. We are hearing it all from her perspective. She could be an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, everyone he talked to is dead.
Anyway, continue.
Basically, if they had gotten Rose on there to steady the weight, they could have redistributed with Jack slowly crawling on top of it.
Yeah, he could have, like, inchwormed his way on there, and they could have both survived. But, you know, thematically, Jack had to die.
Yeah, the characters probably wouldn't have thought to do so because they were in the middle of the ocean. They had just gone through this great tragedy. A lot of thoughts not happening at that point, especially when it comes to trying to take things slow.
Wait, did I skip a few? I think I skipped a few.
I don't know.
Wow, his head is way tinier than what I was expecting.
After this, I'm gonna touch you down. A butt-kicking day to you all. Especially you, Cupcake. Mr. Touchdown, it's an honor to face you. Man, I love your name.
You gonna fight me with all your hoes?
That's my game, but we need a better arena.
Oh, so I'm basically gonna kill all these people and end up at 25 by the time it's over.
Yep.
Oh. You know what? I figured we were gonna have to do something to get me...
I was about to say, that's one way to avoid a whole bunch
What
of
the actual fuck is going on right now?
Are they making the Megazord?
This is some Voltron shit.
Bitch, I was joking!
What the actual fuck?
I was joking!
What?
I thought something like this might happen.
You expected a
Time to bust
Megazord?
out the toy Naomi made.
What? Naomi made a toy for... What?
Long-awaited debut.
What?
Glastonbury.
What?
Let's
What?
pop.
What the fuck is actually happening?
I guess
We've got a goddamn Megazord now?
we got a Gundam.
What the... What? What? Okay, chat, like, knows this a lot better. Chat is full of weeps, so they're like, it's Gurren Lagann. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but...
I don't watch enough. I watch some anime. I do not. I clearly do not watch enough.
Yeah, I was like, oh boy.
Oh yeah, I thought that thing came out of the mansion that we started the first game in. And remember how one of our first streams together was playing that Monster Fighter game?
Yeah, I I do remember
War of
that.
the Monsters.
I do actually remember that.
It's all coming together.
I'm trying to block. Why can't I block?
Blocking is for pussies.
I guess so.
London missile.
You know, I think I saw this in a music video with Deathmouse and Gerard Way.
Probably.
Yes, actually.
Why am I not blocking? I'm like, hold on.
Blocking is for straight people.
I guess so, but I swear to God, there it is.
It was War of the Monsters.
Yeah, War of the Monsters, yeah.
Why is that not uploaded on YouTube?
I thought it was.
I don't know.
It might not be uploaded.
Let me check.
It's saved, I know that much.
Strawberry shortcake.
Blocking is for straight people.
Yeah.
Oh, I did that. Hey guys, I did the thing where I slice the sword and then it all stops and then they fall down dead. It's a big deal. I did that too. You're not special. You don't even have a sword.
Wait, why do I have a sword?
Why did I bring this thing? We were going shopping.
Missile.
Always be prepared for danger.
That kind of makes sense. Not gonna lie. Is he dead?
He's dead, Jim.
Done. Cool Gundam design, by the way. Also, I know they're going for like that thing that everybody was talking about, / Voltron / Gundam / what the fuck ever, but the design and everything, all I could think about was Cowboy Bebop, because I've been thinking about Cowboy Bebop a lot.
Time for the Hail Mary. Let's do this.
I'm gonna pound you so hard the boy's mother is going to be jealous. Oh, can we not? Oh.
You have to hit all of them at the same time?
I don't know. Oh, I guess I do. Okay.
I watch more anime than you.
I guess so, yeah. I was just like, did I just like... When I see buttons that are all in order like that, if there's a plus sign in between them, then I think, oh, okay, press all those buttons.
Yeah.
I guess it's just gonna let me keep being an idiot for a while.
Well done, Travis. You are now 25th. How does it feel to sit?
Someone tell me
Super
to
get in my way!
Feels good. Quick and dirty's my style.
Gotta admit though, this does have a bad aftertaste. Ripping through a bunch of mostly harmless cheerleaders?
Well, I could nullify your victory.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Whoa, wait!
I mean, they weren't that harmless. You can tear some shit up with a pom-pom.
Good answer.
Here's some shit up with a pom-pom.
The UAA will now confiscate your robot.
Dude, they're taking my robot? No!
Too big, and it is a public nuisance.
Oh, fuck off!
You gotta be kidding!
Man, I had this baby custom made too.
Travis, don't forget you are not the only assassin clawing up the ranks.
Well, I just cleared up a lot of space.
25th means there are just as many below as above, and they all want you dead. Stay your bag, okay?
Yeah.
We watched, by the way, Hale and I watched Devil's Pass. Yes, not last night, but the night before, and it was pretty fucking funny. And basically, if you have the means, watch it. It's really fucking stupid.
It's a found footage horror movie.
But it's like bad found footage, which real talk is very much a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yep.
I do like a bad found footage movie. Anyone get the number of that bitch?
18.
Thank you. You okay there, Regina?
Your stupidity was clipped.
Good, good. I like it whenever shit like that is clipped. You okay in there, Regina? Eat a deck. Oh, okay,
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. If you suggest hitting him really, really hard, I am gonna kick you in the dick. You try hitting him really, really hard.
Together?
Fine. Yay! Another. I was about to start singing Another One Bites the Dust, but I can't do that.
About to say, there's no fun allowed.
Yeah, no fun allowed. No fun.
Travis, it's me. Your next fight is arranged. You know what to do, yes? I've updated your map. Handle the rest yourself.
I do kind of like how they've made this, like, all this other stuff, like, entirely optional, but I still want to do it because I want to buy I want to buy food for Jean.
Yeah.
Take a hit! You impotent dipshit!
Okay, then.
I like her better when she's horny.
Maybe that is her when she's horny. You don't know her life.
Yeah. We like a queen here. So, should we end with playing with Jean?
Yes, that is where probably. Hi, Jean.
Hi.
Sweetie girl. Hi.
That was close.
No.
She's a cute little. Oh, so cute. So cute.
Come here.
Cute little kitty.
No.
Yeah, we're helping the kitty lose some chunk.
But I like a little chunk on that kitty.
Well, a little bit's okay. It's alright if they got a little bit of weight on them, but, you know, at a certain point it does get unhealthy. We gotta take and as her owner, it's our responsibility to take care of her.
I feel like I'm being
That was close.
So, tomorrow, by the way, I will be doing, more Devil May Cry. So, you know, come out and watch me flail around as Dante.
I'm probably just gonna
gonna get stuck in another fucking elevator.
I'm probably just gonna refresh myself on my research.
Makes sense.
That's gotta do it.
Oh wow, under 20 pounds.
Doing good. Get her fed.
Give her the gourmet. Or premium.
I was about to say, I just figured I'd give her the premium shit.
Alright, not bad.
Bird will very much cry. I get stuck on that stupid elevator thing for so goddamn long.
I had you. No.
It was so hard. Like
I know it was.
that was. I came so close to quitting. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, look at that jump!
No.
Gee.
Atta girl! Look at that jump!
Oh. Gene.
There you go.
Nice. Gene. Oh. That's gotta do it.
That's some really good jumping. Good job, Jean.
No.
And now give her a massage to relax. After all that physical activity.
Yeah.
So, what was y'all's favorite story today?
What was your favorite story, Bert?
Probably the walkway shit. Like, once we got to the point of amputating limbs with chainsaws, I was like, I am in a very special place.
Yo, I want to go cuddle Shadow now.
All done.
I guess people like the walkway.
I mean, that was just like insanity.
Yeah, the Estonia was just more sad.
It's close.
I wonder what changes a story like these from being like fun insanity to just really, really sad. You know?
Details on how people died.
I guess so. Yeah, probably.
Perfect.
Alright, so Jean's lost a few more pounds. We've talked about engineering disasters. Anything else that you want to talk about?
I don't got much going on. I'm a boring person.
Alright, stick around everybody. We are gonna raid Minx. She is doing speaking of disasters, That was not a stab at Mings. It's, she is doing Asian horror stuff today. She's doing her Asian horror stream.
Good fucking luck, my dude.
I actually am really excited to watch it, not gonna lie. I'm gonna be hanging out. Hold on, I wanna watch this BJS skit. Oh.
No. No.
Oh.
I said no.
Oh.
Do it in your own time.
Okay, fine. Alright, y'all. Thank you all so very much for coming by. I hope that you've all enjoyed today's episode of,
DisasterCast.
What the Fuck Sunday / DisasterCast. I hope that you've all been, I hope that you all had a great time.
Oh, God.
If you didn't, then please direct any of your complaints over to, Kayla. Because everything is her fault.
Yeah.
What is our raid message for today?
Get everything in writing.
Yeah. Alright. Crank show. Raid message is get everything in writing.
Yep.
Get everything in writing. Because, yeah, seriously, get everything in writing. That's the main lesson that we can take away.
That's not
from
even
this.
a joke at this point.
Yeah, get everything in writing. Also, you know, fuck capitalism, but that's just kind of our general thing. That's our general vibe around here.
Yep.
Alright, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be continuing Devil May Cry. I also might have some other little surprises that I'll get to tell y'all about. So please tune in and check it out. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.